Hello, Jurassic. Hello, Edward. Hello, Matt. I think Michael just got home, too. Hello, Silver. Hello, Sunset. Hope everybody is doing well. Sorry, apologies. There's going to be a lot of that. How's Mike today? I don't know. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I thought you'd be lonely, like coughing all by yourself.
I know I am.
So, figured I'd join. Figured I'd join you.
There you go. Now your mic's on.
We're gonna be just like
coughing
nasty this whole stream.
Okay.
Yes, it's me. I'm well enough to like sit up straight. I'm just glad it's the weekend so I can rest a little bit more.
I feel perfectly fine, other than I just feel more like still a little bit more tired walking around, and just a lingering cough that won't go away. It gives me a headache because I keep having a cough, and then that builds up pressure in my head. But
I don't know if it's related, but I woke up completely spun around in my bed last night.
You always say that you do that, and I have no idea how you do that.
I wake up and I'm just facing the other.
I feel like, are you trying to? I feel like you're trying to escape, and you just fail.
It's very disorienting because you wake up and you're like, where am I?
As long as I don't wake up and find you on my floor or something.
I can't promise anything.
Yeah. I thought I had. I have one Ricola that I'm drinking, so I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna do grocery shopping, but then when I realized I was gonna go, that the pickup was still scheduled for the TV, and so I couldn't leave, because then if I did, he would show up, and he did show up, like right when I would have been gone. So thankfully that's taken care of. But then I just ordered Domino's because I couldn't go out.
Sounds fine. I'm still technically quarantined until Monday, so
I'm planning to go out and get some stuff tomorrow because I was going to do it today, but I just couldn't. Anyways, boop, boop, boop. Hello, people. I got Michael is not on there. You do have more room backwards, so you can like back up a little to your left if you want.
Get away from your coffee self.
What are you talking about?
Oh, eating isn't helping. But...
Yeah, a little bit. All right, I think.
Hello. I'm sure everyone here knows, but if you see the two of us coughing, it's because we're both getting over COVID. I think everybody already knows that, though.
A little better there.
At least Michael. Their crowd.
Yes, both me and Michael got COVID. I got it first, and then he got it about 3 or 4 days after. Yes. All right.
That's how it happened.
Derps to have Michael get better. He's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a get better. I got more derps.
Why does he get more derps? Why did he get one more derp than me?
I got more derps.
I guess you don't really want me to get better. You only want him to get better.
Okay, you have Argo. You don't just have COVID. You have Argo COVID. It's Arvid. Speaking of food, and to make a run to the bakery, the bread I brought yesterday got commandeered by an army of ants. Ooh, that sucks. I'm actually surprised we haven't had an ant for all this place is set up, I thought we'd have more. Like I thought I'd find some kind of ants, but
oh no.
I found a lot of spiders and a lot of
spiders are good though.
Yeah, mainly just spiders.
Maybe that's why you don't have any ants.
Just an army of spiders. Spider-Man. All right. We're still working on this. We got to get these 2 shots need to be cleaned up. I can't, let's just do that because if we can just call them done, then I don't have to touch them again.
He only wants me to get better. Clearly.
50 more derps for Michael to get super better. Oh, thank you.
My derps, not yours.
Nope. Commandeered. I've been watching Winsenko's subathon. Yeah, 42 hours. Oof, that's a lot of time. How do you... Did they sleep at all?
House geckos? Somebody lives in, like, the Florida area. I remember when I went down there when my grandparents lived down there, there were geckos all over the place. They're like, it's kind of crazy because you live somewhere where you never have, like, geckos, and then you go to a place that they're all over. It's very bizarre. Like, I still think the weirdest thing about Florida for me was only ever seeing, like, alligators on television, and then going there and just, like, people had hit them with their cars, and there was, like, 3 of them dead by the road. And you're just like, that's an animal you only ever see in the zoo, and people are just, like, running them down. It's like, should somebody do something about these things? Like, no. Like deer up here. They're just kind of everywhere.
Michael, when are you going to make the thing public? Once we do the stream for it, but it might be a little bit.
Yeah, one of the people we plan on doing the stream with is going on an adventure for the next couple weeks.
Friday Argo stream is the official kickoff for the weekend. But when we were, like, moving, what was that? Was there just no weekend that week? What was I doing here? Okay, I want to try to adjust the cameras so that I have more expansive shots between vertical and horizontal.
Jurassic, I'm very much looking forward to releasing that, but it's going to be a bit yet.
You've been working on it for, like, basically half a year. I think you can wait.
I started working on it in, like, February.
Michael, that's 6 months.
Yes.
That's half a year.
Wow. What? Oh, meeting.
No, but they can probably barely hear you.
Meeting. I don't know how that goes.
I've thought about getting a different stand that I can pull up further, but the setup I want is too expensive, so I'm probably just going to hold off on for a while.
Is this microphone even on?
Yeah, I didn't have it on until you came down, and then I turned it on.
You weren't even sure I'd come down, were you?
Well, no, you just weren't here yet, so I was just going to keep it off until you did.
No, I figured I'd be... Excuse me. I figured I'd be well enough to come down and chat, but yeah, I still very much have a call.
I still have to set up focal distances. I don't think I actually have that done. Right? Nope, I was not. That's actually good.
1,000 derps. Look at those derps.
That is a lot of derps.
That's a lot of derps. Look.
1,000. You know how many derps that is?
That's a ton of derps. That's more than 2.
It just sits there, does all those noises, and then it just says derp. Well, thank you very much, Soul Kitty. I hope you're doing well. We're not dead, so we're doing pretty good.
Certainly weathered it better than some.
Oh yeah. I've even heard of some people. Was it Baja Griffin? I think right now got COVID, but they're already immunocompromised and they're in the hospital.
Oh shoot, that's like. I can't imagine how bad it would have been if it wasn't for like preemptive measures. I'm sure it would have been a lot worse than just being held up in bed and for a couple days. A lingering cough. Like all things considered, walked away pretty well. I am alive.
Yeah, we're getting through it. It was so much like the flu I had a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. It almost to a T. That's why I was pretty sure it was just flu, because it was just copy paste. Thing is, the chest part is lingering a lot longer.
It was copy paste with tons of like vaccine in you. It was definitely it definitely seemed like a really super bad flu.
Yeah, but last time I had the flu, I think it lasted about a week, and then I was mostly over it. And I feel like the same at that point before, but my chest stuff won't go away. So I always feel like I'm on the edge of coughing constantly. But yeah, I was going to add a little bit of animation to her, and then I gotta set up.
Poor pony back there got all of his love drained from him.
Well, you see, maybe in a good way. Maybe he's happy now.
I mean, he's probably just like asleep with a giant freaking grin. You should make him breathe a little bit.
Why?
It's probably too short of a scene for it to matter. You're right.
Well, no, I just don't know why it matters.
It does. I mean, it just gives a little bit of life. It shows you that she didn't kill him.
Well, yeah, okay. So from here, that's where he is.
Yeah, I'm saying you wouldn't notice. You're right.
But then I put the aperture up. And so this is the actual shot. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter because you can barely see him. So
what I said.
So why do I care? No, you didn't. You were trying to tell me to do otherwise.
Well, yes, at first, and then I realized it was silly. Because I am silly.
Okay, so this is horizontal. We're going to go there. I think I can go a little bit more with him.
I'm just imagining if Cadence was actually innocent, and Twilight's like, look, my brother, his eyes are glowing green. It's like, that's because he's been eating glow sticks again, Twilight. I keep telling him to stop, that the fluid inside is not ecto-cooler, but he doesn't listen. It's like, oh, it does sound like him. Carry on.
All right, so I do need to give her a little bit of life here. Doesn't have to be much. I just have to get her to move in some way. So we're just going to pick 2 points. And I'm just going to work. What is the view in here? Okay, so that's pretty fine. I can just kind of move the stuff and not care. Oh, if she goes backwards, she actually should be going forward with this. Okay, and then I'll just put that down a little bit. Put the head down a little bit more. Okay.
Can't say I've read that one, Sunset. I hope it was good. Pizza is pretty great.
I was going to order Jets, but it would cost twice as much. So I just did Domino's.
Trying to think of
it was more of just a quick sustenance because I couldn't actually go out to the grocery store. The guy that came up with the... Because I ordered a TV to replace the one that got broke on the move. And when it got here, it had a crack on the top. Something had hit it strong. So I had called Samsung, set up a return, and the truck just came today. But it's funny because when you tell a freight truck that they're doing a residential pickup without a pallet, you get drivers that know that they don't want to deal with the pickup because it usually means people that expect package pickup, and freight is not package pickup. And so the guy got out of the truck very hesitant, and all I was doing was holding a piece of paper, and he said, "Oh, good, you have paperwork." Because he expected much. But I worked in trucking for a while. I knew exactly what he needed. So he's like, "Oh, actually, this is fine. This is actually, you package this better than most places I pick up from residential. So thank you very much."
Thank you for not treating me like a UPS driver.
Well, he was FedEx. It was FedEx Freight.
FedEx Freight.
So,
okay.
But yeah, so because he had the lift gate and whatever, but he's like, "Nope." We go, "Thank you very much, no problems." So
yep, they need paperwork. Freight's generally cheaper too.
Well, for 100, it was 160 pounds. It was not 160 pounds.
It was not 160 pounds.
But like when he went to ship it, like on the paperwork, do you know what class is in shipping?
Vaguely.
It's like it said class 92.5. Do you know what that means?
Nope.
So I used to do weight and dimension like inspections when I was in trucking, not because I had to, but because it was fun. And its class on a freight is basically a way of saying density. So low numbers mean very dense, while high numbers mean very light. So if you're shipping foam, it might be like class 400, but if you're shipping lead, it's going to be class 50. And so it's the scale. But then they have this giant book of NMFC numbers. I think General Plastics was 156600. I still remember that one. And those NMFC numbers would then have a breakdown based on that material as to what class it should fall under. And it would be usually based on a density, which you could calculate by going all the length, width, height, and the weight, and then mathing it out. And it was something I did on the side for fun because it could help make the company money. And when I was working there, they had cut our hours because they weren't making enough money. So I did my part. So, book of material density classifications, essentially, yeah. I was going to be talking about stories in stone. For the book he's talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure. But it does focus on OC characters with Friendship is Magic as supporting characters. I'm not a big fan of fanfics that focus on OC.
I mean, you got me reading Fall of the Forest.
But a lot of the characters in there, like it's different if it's supporting. Yeah. And it's all OCs running it, because then it's no different than any other book.
Well, I mean, Australia is just Rainbow Dash surrounded by OCs most of the time. But
yeah, but they use a lot of the elements of the universe, and they constantly make reference to. And later in the story, it's different.
Australia feels a little bit different because it's so huge that the characters become their own thing within their own universe. Fall to Equestria is the same way. Like, I can't even in my brain see Little Pip as an OC character. She is a character within her own story. Yeah, she's an OC created by cats, but she's as valid as any of the
like cats.
And a cat.
Well, K-cat, but it's just like a bunch of cats in an alleyway wrote a story.
But I don't know. Once a fanfic takes on a certain level or reaches a certain level of notoriety, the characters stop being OCs in my mind and start becoming just characters within their own work of art.
Well, they're still OCs, but there's a difference between I'd say generally recognized OC and like Little Pip to me it's still an OC, but it's kind of in that mid ground. It's an official character to the community. Yeah. But some random Joe Schmo with that OC not really going to.
Well, they're not going to know who. Some random Joe Schmo probably isn't going to know who Twilight Sparkle is either.
No, I mean Joe Schmo in the community. Okay. Somebody just wrote a story about his OC, but there's a certain point where that OC takes on a life this thing. Yeah. So that's why it's do not steal. Because as soon as somebody else uses your OC,
Yeah.
You lost control of it, like Little Pip.
Yeah. Little Pip,
I feel bad for UPS drivers a couple of times to try and pick up laptops from former employees. My defense, we had sent them return the shipping boxes first. If you are doing package pickup, which is usually just standard box, anything you can really just lift by yourself, and is just doing FedEx Ground, that's a completely different thing. They don't, all of their density and everything is based on just the box's dimension and the weight. That's a whole different thing. Freight is where things get very complicated, because you might have lots of different things on a pallet, and it's if you just go and ship a pallet with a certain amount of dimensions and a certain weight, you just go direct by density, some things can be very expensive. But when you do that NMFC classification, it's where people can have, because you may say, like, per 1,000 pounds, this is how much it costs by this class. But normally by weight, it might be this class, but because it falls under this other category, it might be only classified as anywhere from 100 to 150 instead of up to 400 or something, because of the type of item it is. It's a very, very, very complicated system. But one of my jobs was to go out there, you look at it, you look at the NMFC, you determine whether or not it matches, and then you, if it doesn't, you can reclassify it, but people don't like to be told they're wrong, so you have to be very careful with it. If somebody's doing 15600, the general plastics kind of miscellaneous one, it's usually because they just don't know how else to classify it, and you might know more. But most other people, they're always wrong, but they're a huge customer, so you kind of have to be careful with it, and it's fun. Hello, Neb. Oh, good, an assessor. Kinda. No, it was actually fun, because you're going out there and then saying, you're looking at an item, and if it looks like there's a lot of wood in keeping something together. And so they classified it based on what's inside that pallet, but now it's taking up this huge amount of space around it of air for packaging. Well, you look at the number and it says like 92.5, and then you look at it and you're like, that is not that dense. And so you math it out and you figure out it's 150. And as long as that NMSC has a 150 in its numbers, that can sometimes increase the cost to ship that by like $200 to $300 easy. And usually every day I went out there, I could get anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in reclassification. And I did it because it was fun. It actually was kind of fun. It was like solving a mystery. You like look at it and you're like, what is this thing? And then trying to figure it out and stuff. So it was a lot of fun, actually. I worked a lot with the guy that ran the weights and inspections for the whole area. They eventually bought a dimensionalizer, which is this giant device that they put a pallet in, and then they hit a button, and it basically takes a bunch of pictures all the way around it and figures out the exact dimensions to like 1/8 of an inch, and then weighs it and will give you the actual dimensions. But then it automates that process, and people get really mad about that. Oh boy, when you tell them like, oh, your 1,100 pound pallet is actually 1,102. So you got to owe us for that 2 pounds. Oh, you get people mad. Joys of customer service. Essentially, yeah, I was. But nice thing was, since it wasn't my job, I didn't have to answer those questions. Freight is an interesting world. I think I might just be able to call this one good. I'm a little... the lighting under here is a little too bright here. I want it to be brighter, but like here I feel it's too dark. Maybe I just need like a slight touch. I think, no, just a teeny bit more. I think that's okay. That's better. I just wanted to balance it out. It didn't feel, with everything else that's around her, it just felt like it was too dark under her chin. So, and it's usually fine. You can see like the light's coming above, but the light should only stop like here then. But because I have it coming around the front, I need to balance it out. So we'll just keep that. It's not much, but it matters. I still feel like the background's a little too complicated because she's very bright, he's very bright, and that background is also kind of bright. Is there a better spot? I kind of threw them in here, but is there a better spot for this? That's darker. Actually, do I have just a background light? I do. What if we instead... Oh, I should look at the light. Let's drop the brightness on this light to like... Oh, no, I need to look at the vertical. I think this is why I did this. Because this is covering them too. I'm going to drop the intensity on this one. And then we're going to just copy paste it. And see if we can just hit them direct without hitting the background. Okay, so that would be the vertical. If it was on the horizontal, does it still look okay? Not really. I think I know how to solve it, though. I think the issue is right now there's so much light on them, but there's nothing giving definition to light in the background. I think as long as I make it look like light's coming from a source back here, and it's fine. Let's try. Does it even matter if this is shaded or not? No. That helps a little. That actually does help quite a bit. Because this is like a flat dark, and then but they're not. They're lit on this side, dark on this side. Well, if they're lit on this side, why isn't this lit on this side? Kind of makes your brain say something's off. So by putting this, it creates at least a little bit of definition back there that really does help kind of put it all together. So I think that's fine then. But by decreasing that overall brightness, it really made it so he's easier to separate and she's easier to separate, which is what I was going for. This is that main light. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think she's a little bright back here, but can I adjust that to be... Yeah, let's keep it like that. Apologies. All right, I'm gonna lock that. Well, wait. Okay, I'm gonna make her blink here. Maybe not. Yeah, that's actually too distracting. We're going to instead just have her kind of squint ever so slightly. I just want to have her eyes move a little bit. Okay. Now I can lock that in. So has everybody got plans for the weekend? We have Jackbox tomorrow. We're going to plan on that. I don't know if we usually run 4 hours, right? Yeah, we might keep it at 4 hours, but I thought for some reason it was 5, and that may be a bit much for that type. It's a lot of talking. Do we want to have him move at all, or is he just dead? I kind of came out of nowhere, sorry. I'm going to an off-road racing event this weekend. That sounds like fun. You feeling better? I'm feeling better, but it feels like I went from 0 to 90%, and then I just got stuck there. I had a cough. I didn't really cough that much while I was sick, but I've been coughing a lot since, and it's been going for now a week or so. No, has it been 2 weeks?
Booze.
You shouldn't be drinking.
Why not?
Because
I'm feeling better. You're drinking.
Yeah.
Why can't I drink?
Because you can't taste it.
I can. Actually, my taste came back today.
Oh.
And I realized this morning when I was drinking my coffee, and I didn't put any sugar or sweetener in it, because I stopped bothering. And I was like, this is bitter. And then I was like, oh, this is bitter. I got kind of excited.
Because it's bad coffee.
But my boss at work gave me a get well gift. It's this.
Did you already have one?
I have a Twilight one.
Oh, so you didn't have
So now I have a rainbow one. But my boss at work gave me this.
It's the Rainbow Pez.
Who else's boss buys them pony stuff?
Can you zoom in on? Okay. Apparently it doesn't want to go that close. Okay, well.
No. It's a rainbow Pez.
It's got Pez lemon, orange, and cherry.
Yes. My boss, he's a cool dude, but he was like, you know what you need for that COVID? Some zinc. And I'm just like, oh boy, and some vitamin D. I'm like, you just described a bowl of cereal. It's like, no, it's different. It's like, it's more cereal.
That's what the one day when I just woke up and I'm like, I need cereal. And so,
yeah,
cereal. Because it's like morning soup. I wanted soup, but it was morning, so I made morning soup.
Yeah. Nah. A lot of cereals, they add zinc and copper into to help balance people's diets. Because you need a little bit of that stuff, but most people don't get it.
You mean kids?
No, actually, the primary reason they started adding zinc to cereals was to help prevent with cleft palates and babies by having...
They're still a kid.
Well, no, the mother eats it. It's during the baby's
development. But why are adults eating cereal?
What do you mean, why are adults eating cereal? Adults can eat cereal. They're allowed.
No, unless it's Lucky Charms. They can eat Lucky Charms.
Oh, yeah. That's
an adult cereal. All marshmallows.
Yes.
Unless you're a masochist, then it's Oops All Berries.
He knows what he did.
It just should be Oops All Blood. That's what that stuff is.
Oh, we were making a pretty horrible joke. A friend of ours is getting married here next year. It's final draft online, but I suggested he get married by a Captain Crunch because he's captain and he could marry him and his wife. And
well, if you can get his phone number,
it's like, I tell you what, I can dress up like Captain Crunch and like marry him. If I'm a captain, I can marry him.
I know, but you can't just dress up as a captain and suddenly it makes him a captain.
I have a boat and I am out at sea. And it's my boat that I've stolen.
Pretty sure you have to be registered or something. You have to be a registered captain.
Everything goes in international waters, man.
But then it doesn't matter if you're captain or not.
I gotta be captain.
But then if anything goes, you can ignore the rules.
Because if I'm a captain and out at sea...
But who made the rule that you have to be a captain?
I don't know. That's just a general rule.
I know, but you're out at sea. It doesn't matter. You said... So there's no rules.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I never say pretty sure. What is it?
I'm going to be Captain Crunch. That's what it is. But when we were making the joke that if the Captain Crunch marries two men, that it's an all berries wedding.
Okay.
Yes. That was the joke we were having.
You need to stop having jokes.
Yes. Let's go talk more about that shipping freight.
Because that's cool stuff. Shipping. Yeah. I just know too much about freight. That's all it is. Spent was it from when I was 18 until 30? I was in freight. I mean, I went to college for a few years here and there, but otherwise I worked in freight on and off for over 13 years.
Yeah. That's probably back, I think when I first started like following you, you were still working for...
Oh yeah. When I started I was in trucking for a good 5 years after I started this, because...
You took a heck of a few years for career advancement. Like, you just went from fairly substandard job to a pretty great job in a very short period of time. A little envious.
It was a long ride though, because I went from trucking to working in documentation with my sister, because they needed somebody, and that had a pay raise. And at that time, for what I was making, I was like, that's pretty good, especially since I was doing like kind of bullshitty work. I really didn't. I wasn't really doing anything. I was just doing computer stuff. It was fun. But then I moved from documentation at the medical company to quality compliance. Did that for about a year, but they never gave me the raise for it. And I fought for like 6 months to try to get it, but they had put under pay freeze and whatever, because I was not being paid anywhere near for the stuff I was doing. And then my boss quit before, and it was just this big thing. And eventually they finally gave me the raise, and then a week later I quit. And I moved to my current job. It was funny because they're like, we finally gave you what you wanted. I'm like, well, technically it's not. It's not what I said I wanted. They're like, well, as close as we can get. And then just calling him like days later and saying, oh, yeah, I'm gone though. Is there something we need to talk about? Nope. We already did. Oh, okay. That was such my best day of my life.
Just quitting that job.
Telling that guy to fuck off. So fun.
I did the same work for the longest time, and then Argo here came up to me and he said, Michael, you don't have to put on that red light. And I was like, I'm finally free.
The red light?
Yeah. Michael, you don't have to.
I was thinking you were going for Roxanne.
Yes, it's that story, except with me in it. And him doing the singing. Amazing, amazing voice, by the way.
I'm thinking.
So yeah, now you know my history.
I'm thinking Knightley just told me he's got the next Stalker Son video done. That's probably what that is. I'm not gonna click it because then you guys get a link, but yeah, it is. Okay, well there we go. I got that. For
maybe
afterwards.
It's him telling you he's quitting. It's just like, and I'm taking the kids. Be like, what kids? And he's like, exactly. You didn't spend any time with them. That's why he's taking them. You don't know. You didn't check.
Well, I don't think I'm going to care too much because I don't even know who these kids are. It's like, I'm taking the kids. I'm like, good, because I don't want any kids.
Horrible father.
All right. So good.
Gotta hydrate before you die.
It's more if you don't move for a while, you kind of get settled, but then when like you move, it just something twists, and then like it just.
I know it keeps making me cough. It's just the amount of like drainage that I'm still getting back down in my throat.
Oh yeah, that lasted a little bit, but I don't have any drainage anymore. It's just it feels like there is always. It feels like there's if a balloon had a leak, it feels like that right here.
Or you probably ended up getting some mucus in your lungs or something.
I do cough up some stuff, but it's like it's stuff that it feels like I'm clearing like the calcium buildup, like something super thick in there, and that's what I'm trying to get cleared out. Every now and then I can get a little bit.
Yeah,
could just be scar tissue, but it wasn't even like coughing that much.
Well, it's if I had to guess, it's probably just all the mucus still in your lungs from when you were super sick, and you're just slowly.
But I really didn't have any mucus in my lungs the whole time. I never really had. I wasn't coughing because of anything. I had nothing in my lungs.
You didn't have like a runny nose or anything?
I had a runny nose, but nothing in here, and nothing at all. I've been dealing more with the coughing and stuff since than during.
During, I was just. I don't know. It's hard to even describe how bad it was at the peak. It was just...
Oh, that makes sense.
Absolute misery.
Hydrate only, I presume. Nope, I have. I did put dehydrate. I should have turned dehydrate back on. I'm drinking some tonight. I'm probably gonna not go overboard with it.
This is the first beer I've had in over a week, I think, and
I had one, I think yesterday and one the day before, but I stopped at one.
Seeing how it goes.
I think
it doesn't make me too tired.
I think I can go with that. Did I lock her hair? No, I didn't.
My nose was never blocked up because I had a steady supply of nasal spray, though I did use it to the point where my nose started bleeding, so I had to back off a little bit. It was better than not breathing.
I am pretty, unless I will take like Tylenol or something if I have a headache, but other than that, I'm usually pretty against drugs. I don't like.
It straight up reminded me of an episode of Seinfeld where Ben Stiller's dad, I can't remember his name, he was in Seinfeld and he basically used to have a nasal spray addiction, and he's like trying to buy it at the counter, and he's like trying to like hide his identity and shit, like it's some illegal drug.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would avoid drugs. I drank like a bottle of cold medicine over 2 days. And nasal spray and ibuprofen and aspirin. I was taking it all. I don't
like anything that modifies my experience of the world. It's just a thing.
The COVID was actively modifying your experience of the world. You want to try to reel it back a little bit. That's the point of the meds.
No, I don't. I don't like things that drugs like that. Like, I like drinking sometimes, and I like having coffee, but it's mainly because I like the flavor of coffee. But I just don't like. I don't like a reliance on chemical, like produced chemicals like that.
I wasn't going to be reliant on.
Yeah, you said you were going in so your nose was bleeding.
Yeah,
that sounds reliant.
COVID was altering my experience of the world. The nasal spray was trying to bring it back to where I could breathe through my nose again.
But all I feel like it is that you're stretching a rubber band one direction, and to try to balance it out, while it's over here, you grab it and you pull it the other direction then too. Yeah. And it feels like your body is now just in some weird limbo of being pulled both directions.
One where I could breathe through my nose as opposed to not. What's wrong with you? We're weird.
When you were sick, was one side of your nose blocked up? That's how it always works. Your nose works.
Not if you had the right drugs.
No, your nose usually works where one side breathes in and is more open than the other, because it helps. Some smells are enhanced.
Is one of your nostrils blocked up right now?
No. When your nose is clear, it's fine, but it's always that one nostril is more clear than the other, because certain smells are difficult to pick up when going too fast. So your nose is kind of built to go back and forth between one side being being able to pick in air faster and one less. So when you're sick, the one that can pull it in faster usually can stay cleaner longer, but this other one, when it loses the ability to push air through it more, will normally clog up. But then after, like, I can't remember how long it is. It's like 20 or 30 minutes. It'll swap. And then when it swaps, and the air starts going through there more, it'll usually clear out, but then you might get plugged in the other one. Noses are weird.
Hi, Nightly. We were just talking about you and the kids.
Hi, Nightly. I was just saying, you could probably got a video done. I heard a bunch of ba-deep-ba-deeps. How was Nightly doing?
He's like, what?
I heard.
I think he was referring.
I heard ba-deep-ba-deeps in chat.
About the kids. I think he's saying.
Oh yeah, there was something about children. Yeah, that was Michael. We ignore Michael.
No. This is why you're not allowed to have to keep the kids. You just ignore your children.
Good. They'll gain hard skin.
Yeah, see, Nightly's angry at you. He wants a divorce.
We're talking about you. No, you're talking about something completely different and then interpreting everything. Are you Fox News?
No, I can read Nightly. Me and him are on a proper wavelength. You're just...
Nightly, do you even know what he's fucking talking about? I don't think I do. Turn back on dehydrate, and every time Michael has to take a gulp.
Nightly?
I swear I did it on.
Say Wim Wham if you get that inside joke that only me and you are privy to, and not him, because he's not on, like, the cool dude wavelength, right?
Yeah, it should be on.
But you're not.
And I guess I gotta eat a spoonful of minced garlic 3 times a day, usually mixed with food. That sounds like a rain dance to fix yourself.
You know what I used?
I mean, I guess you're making your body have to really ramp up to fighting something. So
you know what
going hard mode.
You know, if you're not doing drugs that like clear up your sinuses, you know what really works? Like Tabasco sauce. Just drink some of that.
To me, if I've got a lot of stuffed crap in my nose, it's
You said Wim Wham, see?
No. He did say wham wham, but now you said it, so now he's thinking that you actually interpret. No, Nightly, you're not helping.
No.
No, usually a hot shower always helps me. The liquid in there helping hydrate everything.
The steam will help.
I was taking like 2 showers a day during when I was at the worst.
I just did all the drugs.
Yeah, to me, just being in the shower, I actually felt fine. So.
Yeah, but you got to get out of the shower eventually.
Yeah, and then I'm usually pretty good for a while, and then I go to sleep.
I'm good, and then I pass out. I'm helping me.
All right, yeah, I did get a stupid face from with Trixie. Like I said, yeah, connect to the wonders of the Twitch stream. Oh god, no. Helping future me make content. You don't even have to review it. You got it.
You did it. Exploded.
Okay, so you're gonna have a lot of fun with us coughing for like 2 weeks.
Just edit that all in there.
But yeah, I didn't say it.
Don't take the coughing out. Add even more, and clown noises.
I didn't tell you Nightly both me and if you didn't check me and him both got COVID in the last couple weeks.
You didn't tell Nightly?
I just kind of I put it in the general chat.
You're married. You didn't even tell him.
We do have just random background coughing. I'll add a cough counter. No, that'd be rough. All right, so we're doing Trixie something here though.
Now we both got COVID. Well,
we're towards the end of it.
He made out with COVID Man, which I'm assuming now was a clown, and then he brought it home.
The COVID clown.
The COVID clown. He's just like, want me to make y'all a balloon?
When he squeezes his nose, it goes where, and vaccine comes out.
Well, that's what you want, but I mean, just the snot.
I know that's why that's why everybody's anti-vax, because they know it's just clown snot.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing with Trixie though? We got a stupid face.
She's cute.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check. Oh yeah, sorry, Blur, and then Blur. Cheers, dehydrator. I'm drinking just said that the Indeed pistachio cream ale. Still pretty good. Tastes like pistachio. All right, what are we gonna do with Trixie though? Okay, you guys made it out of COVID all right. Glad to see all better. Kind of. He's right at the end of it, and I've been about a week or so past it, but I've still got a cough I can't get rid of.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping better, though, which is good.
I slept... I mean, I felt like I slept pretty well last night. I just woke up in a different direction.
Michael, what is Trixie doing?
Let me think. I got caught off guard with this stupid face. Look at her face. It's not a stupid face. It's a cool face. Oh, she got a wiggle nose. It's too high. It's too low. Just you got squish nose. No, this one got tiny. That's just kind of weird. I mean, pony snoots are perfect. They don't need to be messed with. I don't need to mess with this snoot. There's nothing you can do to make it better. Anyway, when I had COVID, I just slept for 24. I actually just got my sense of taste back today. It was gone for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days.
So 20 hours straight. I basically did that, but I couldn't sleep straight. I would sleep in 45-minute intervals, maybe, and then I would wake up and be thirsty, or something would be off, or I'd be sweaty, and so I did that for like 3 days straight of never sleeping more than 30 to 45
got up
minutes.
like 8 times in a row on the worst night to pee.
I just never drank anything. I know I need to keep liquids up.
Yeah, you're supposed to drink.
But you know where the drinks are? Not in that room, and I didn't want to get up.
I was drinking water out of the sink in my bathroom.
I actually got to one point where I was losing track of the difference between being awake and asleep. Like I think it was during the one morning that I went into work and I still wasn't like that great. There was actually a moment where for a while that I couldn't figure out if I was asleep or not. Like even though I was awake, I couldn't tell the difference. It was like reality actually wasn't stable for me. It was really weird. But Michael, what is she doing?
Well, she was like licking a lamp.
Why do you gotta make her lick stuff?
And she get her tongue stuck.
At a lamppost.
You know, it's cold. Like that movie Christmas Story. But you've seen, right? For some reason, why is your tongue so big? Why is your tongue so big? Now she looks like one of the demons from like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The clown demons. What if you did something nice and decided to like lick a lollipop?
Because we're doing a stupid face, not a fun face.
I bet whoever asked for the stupid face would want that is. Yay! Super yay, Trixie!
Yeah, Trixie!
Zwabi. That right there is so perfect. Whatever you do next, you have to keep that face. Perfect. You're doing it. See, you don't need my help. You're making this work. You're the master.
Oops.
It's like she tried to eat a boogie board or boogie? Buggy. Oh, boogie board. Yeah, it's a boogie board. What is happening with that tongue? It's like, Starlight, look, Trixie has a new talent.
Oh no.
Intrigued. This is amazing. What is she licking though? I feel like it can't be no, what do you mean bad? No. I have nothing but pure thoughts, Nightly.
Oh, there is a double stupid face. Okay, so we gotta finish Trixie first.
No, you can double it up.
No, I know what you're gonna do, and no, we're not doing that.
Just get Starlight and give her the exact same face, and then make them kiss. I had to get it out there. It was important. Is she licking the Peanut Man? I hope she's licking the Peanut Man. Look, yes, look that Peanut Man. He's so sad. He's so sad. I want you to lick him. That's why he's sad. What are you doing?
That actually is kind of a useful thing. Ooh, wait. Ooh, I see something.
New water. New water just dropped. You know, you don't think you have enough models already?
It's pony everywhere.
Source?
This was uploaded to the Gmod Workshop by Alicorn Nightmare.
That's because the only people who ever use this program were pony people.
It's written by Cassius. Is that Jurassic? Are you here? Is that the Cassius? I don't know. Maybe it's a more common name than I'm thinking, but
like, let's be honest. I see how often My Little Pony is trending on Twitter. My Little Pony is at least a fifth of the internet at this point. It's all ponies now. It's all... No, why did you take away the Peanut Man? She could have licked him.
a little curious on.
It could be salty. Salty peanut man. I could make a joke about. Bring back the peanut. Why don't you give me the things I want?
It's already painful to hear you laugh, and then, ooh, wow.
You just flooded the castle and you're excited. Why won't you let Trixie lick the peanut man?
This is actually pretty good. It's a static model. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh, I got very distracted. Is this?
You did.
Okay. Do they have?
Trixie just drooled everywhere. That's what that happened. That's what happened.
They do. Okay. So.
Oh, they all got washed away.
No, I have to.
Now. You do a cool boat scene. Storm.
Oh, so it's actually like water coming in and then going away. Oh no, it's because it's going below the surface. No, I love playing around with stuff like this because you don't know sometimes. If you don't know what something's capable of, you can't use it in the situations that you might not think to use it in. So I'm curious on if I add some jitter to this and then smooth it out. And then we'll just stretch it. How does this look? I think some of these bones are... What are these bones attached to? I'm not even seeing... Oh... Oh wait, holy shit. How big is this thing?
Big. I mean, if you're doing a whole ocean, and you want a far enough shot, you gotta have it pretty big. Oh, and it all stretches individually too.
Oh my god, look how big it is! Oh, wait a second. Okay, sorry, I'm really distracted by this, but now I know what it's doing.
Ooh.
So it's coming in like a wave from that edge and coming in and then moving through. That's actually just the texture alone is pretty damn useful. Where'd you go, water? There.
Oh yes, you can make it purple. He's right. Here comes the smooth.
Yeah, I couldn't. I make smooth.
Make it purple. Let's see it purple. Oh, that shit was dumb. I don't know if it's still going on or not. So I'm pretty sure they funded that show with like $20 and a McRib. Hello, Red Arrow. Oh, here come the smooths. Perfect. Oh no, I've read Australia. That's terrifying. They're dead. Oh, it's the smooths. Trixie, no. Eaten by the smooth.
Smooth.
Got
Smooth. Get it? It's like soon, but
smooth.
smooth.
Like, if you've only watched the pony version of Smooths, it just makes them... Trixie's like, there's the Smooths. Gotta lick it. Lick the Smooths, Trixie. Lick it. You're like, nom, 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 nom. It's delicious. Find out that's why Trixie's angry all the time, and she just like... It's like, what are you drinking, Trixie? It's with my Smooths drink. I drink it every day. It's delicious. Talk about it's delicious. He's like, nom, nom, nom. This is the perfect stupid face. You did it. You found a thing for her to lick.
She's definitely
She's getting all that smooth.
She's definitely smoothing it up.
Mm-hmm. The smooth. She's very happy. This is her happy place.
So this is... Let's get this to one... Okay, so this is like 1/100th its size. That's pretty useful. I like this.
I just need you to put lots of eyeballs in it now. And then have it like melt ponies when it touches them.
But see, I don't get some of these bones. Like that one does that. Oh!
This is the stream now.
It's this moves. Let's see, target. No, let's transform. Ooh, that's that one. That's that one. Okay, there. And then where's this one? It's over there. Okay, so that goes further down there. Okay. And then we're gonna move this.
Dixie. I like it.
Right there, and then we'll just.
I think that was one of the biggest balls dropped with G4s. They didn't make the smooths in G4 purple. They could have just made him purple. Why did they make him purple? It's very disappointing.
She's okay. Now she's just.
She can't reach it. It's too low. She's very sad. How's she gonna get her daily? She's getting it. That smells so delicious. She's like, Trixie, where is everyone? You like they're dead, but taste some of the smooth. It's so good. Trixie, no. That smells.
There we go. She's just.
This is very happy. No. It's like, Trixie, don't lick the smooths. And she didn't listen. So good.
She likes it.
It's tasty. It's grape flavored, obviously. I think now she just looks like she's getting high off the smooths. I'm like, this is my drug. It's just ground up Flintstones vitamins.
Actually, we got. Okay, say let's go Fluttershy. Okay, you did give a name. Okay.
What are you doing? Are your keys not working?
No, it's pulsing the light. Oh, it's because the battery's really low.
Oh yeah, you're one of those weirdos who, even though their keyboard doesn't move ever, is wireless.
Well, because right now it's because I don't have a cord running. Because I have to unplug everything soon.
Can you plug a cord in that one?
No, I can. You can run it wired,
Okay.
not just powered.
I didn't know.
Charged, but it's actually a you can run it wired mode.
I kind of figured it was just like you're running that thing off AAA batteries or something. My keyboard has a wire. It's very nice. It's the future, I think. Wired communication. I was trying very hard not to cough. I was failing. Fluttershy just wants to befriend it. She's like, I speak with the animals, walk with the animals, and that's when she gets eaten by a bear. Like, would anybody be that surprised if Fluttershy got eaten by a bear? It's like all those like people out in the wilderness, like, you can be one with the animals. They're nice and they will treat you well, and then you find them like in the stomach of an alligator or something.
Alligator?
Maybe. Like, the alligators are our friends. They don't want to hurt us. Let's go commune with the alligators. And then they get eaten by an alligator. Because the alligator didn't want to be friends. They were hungry. So, you know, Fluttershy does seem like the type to eventually be eaten by her cats. but that's
She
fine.
probably, and she wouldn't even be dead. She'd just be like, she ran out of food, so she's just like, well, I guess.
It's no, it's sad. It's sad end for Fluttershy. What is you doing? She's just dead. And just have her casually flip by as Trixie's looking it up.
I'm working on it. Don't be
Thank you.
spoiling it.
I know where this is going, and it's wonderful. You scroll down your chat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
What was the funniest thing that happened in a Source filmmaker stream?
That's hard to say. Actually, to me, one of my favorite moments was typing "Why is Michael stupid?" into Google and having the first result come up. Michael Moore is a big fat stupid white man, and that's his name.
He's very pleased with himself by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was that actually got me going pretty good. Kyle bringing the free candy to the stream. That was probably like 5 years ago. That was a fun time.
It's because you liked candy?
No, it was booze. He wrote on their free candy. Mm-hmm. It was I think actual Halloween day too.
Man,
but
I'm glad Halloween's got to be. I used to enjoy it more when I was a kid because of actual free candy, but it's still a fun holiday even as an adult. It's make sure she's bobbing a little bit.
I kind of. Oh, that's why it's not acting right.
Nothing can stop the smooths. That was we actually watched that. I think you probably saw it. It was the first time I watched it all the way through. That My Little Pony movie. The best part is just listening to Danny DeVito as a little gnome monster / friend. It's like, out of all the people, you're like, so, do you want to be in a My Little Pony movie in the 1980s? And Danny DeVito is just like, yeah, let's go beat the ponies. He's an original brony. Don't let anybody tell you different. Oh, Trixie's got to keep licking. She stops. As bad as the toy placement in G4 was, the toy placement in G1 was like blatant. It's like the only thing that can possibly save us is this new toy set. Oh, toy set. Then they show it for like 5 minutes in the movie and like, yay, the toy set saved us.
The problem with that, like, at least Twilight Castle looked like a castle.
Yeah.
That literally looked like Barbie's dream house.
Oh, yeah.
Dropped in there, like completely out of nowhere.
And like the whole thing was just an advertisement that sounds like, look, it has a pool where we can hang out together. And this is all while the Smooths is like destroying their kingdom. And they're like, and a nice balcony over here.
It was.
And then they never brought up the toy house again.
That was the most toyetic thing I have ever seen.
It was not even like coy about it. It was just like, here's the toy children need to buy or the ponies will die.
Okay, so.
But I kind of want that in G4. Then just be like, quick, everybody, get into Applejack's truck. It's the only thing that can save us. And if you don't buy it, all the ponies will die. It's like, they just put up like a number up on the screen in the middle of the episode. Call this number now to save the ponies. Meatball Parade is happening.
No, that's not what I want.
I want a Meatball Parade.
We can just actually, you know what? We can do Smooths.
Here comes the Smooths. There it is. Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, I gotta fix.
Gotta fix Trixie's. You gotta keep licking. You gotta lick all the moves.
There we go.
Got it. Are you proud of yourself?
A little bit. Wait. Hold on, I have a better.
Yes. Don't start lighting.
I'm being really lazy about this.
Yes, as you should be. This is already counting as stupid face 2.5.
Kinda.
Of course, you could just release this on YouTube. They would still market for kids, even though there's a dead pony, but that could be fun.
Okay. Okay, there we go. We'll do that, so.
Now this is funny, but now I'm imagining the like pay with your parents' credit card thing to save the ponies, and if we don't reach this much, Rainbow Dash is gonna die. It's like, and then for them to actually follow through with it, it's like, oh, we came short of our goal. I'm sorry. And then it just says Rainbow Dash dying. If you don't want another pony to die, act on it now. Get your parents' credit cards, or another pony gets it. Can't stop it.
Fix it. I forgot. I gotta move her up. This is not. We'll put her up there.
Just have her bob back and forth a little bit, like a dinghy.
Because I gotta do the now. So stupid because he goes bow 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 bow.
See, now you're dying.
Look at that quality right there. That looks like King's Quest.
Well, you know who animated it, don't you?
No, I mean like the pixelation and everything.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like King's Quest. That was Toei Animation back in the heyday, the '80s heyday for Toei.
Okay,
they were just starting to get their feet wet in animation with Dragon Ball and stuff. But to make money on the side, they did My Little Pony movies.
Okay, so we're gonna.
Yeah, now they have a new movie coming out, a new Dragon Ball movie, end of this month. I'm actually looking forward to it.
They haven't watched any of the new stuff. One day. Oh, we still got Smooze. There we go. There we go. I hope you all enjoyed Smooze.
Yes, it was beautiful. Oh yeah, you're working on animation. Wowie. What happened to the other animation you were working on? I didn't even realize you, like, stopped one animation and started another animation, and now you stopped that animation to work on this animation.
Which one?
The Cozy Glow thing.
That is this one.
That is this one. Why did I think it was two different ones?
Yeah, it's just I have to do the end of it, but I want to get this part done first because I can technically start a render. Especially if I'm going to be doing a vertical and a horizontal version of the video. That is... I kind of want to use this video as a test on the Made for Kids thing regarding tagging. I want to put some specific type, not line tags, but I want to exempt or leave out certain tags and add other certain tags so that there's nothing about it that actually says cartoon. If that's the case, then for it to identify itself a 3D animation as Made for Kids. 2D, I can see that being able to maybe an algorithm to figure that out, but 3D without tags, how can it figure that out? Is it going through comments? Because if it's going through comments, then does that mean that people can technically get a video marked for kids based on the way they're commenting? It leaves a lot of questions, and so I want to use this as a test. And it's easy to fight because it's about pregnancy and stuff. So
it didn't last very long, but I think one of the Has Been Hotel episodes got marked for kids for a short period of time.
But see, that one, at least an algorithm could say that's cartoon. This is not going to see this as cartoon, and if it does, then the algorithm is very poor.
Oh, it is.
Well, it is, but
they're marking it everything. Like, I've been seeing nature documentaries getting marked for kids. So
how does that work?
Only children are allowed to enjoy nature documentaries.
Yeah, only children can enjoy nature.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go to a zoo and you see a bunch of monkeys mating, you do not look. That's for children.
I am actually starting to think the feel for what is. I'm starting to wonder if they're intentionally trying to piss as many people off as possible at this point. Because if they're going after nature documentaries, then they're going after more than just the bare minimum. They're going after, like, a broad spectrum of people they're just trying to demonetize. But they're hurting themselves in the process, because when they stop target advertising, they don't make as much money either. So I don't know what their end game is.
I don't think this is going to work. I'm concerned about this dying when I'm midway through, so I want to see. Technically, this isn't the right cable. It's not going to charge. Oh no, it's micro. This is USB-C. I need to find a micro cable probably at some point. I'm used to having it plugged in, but I used to run my keyboard, a micro cable through my desk and around, and I always had it plugged in, but I just haven't plugged everything in. So it's just been running wireless for weeks.
Do you want a Pez?
No.
Me neither, then.
Demon cometh, so this needs Donnelly.
The nature of Dino documentary got marked for kids too. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what
test the algorithm
is safe.
It's not about test. It's not testing the algorithm. It's testing. It's kind of the inverse. Is I want to see if there's ways that I can put things in that gives me a better chance of getting it through. Because things are, if I leave off tags like MLP and My Little Pony, I'm technically reducing the amount of people that can find my content, because bronies that are searching for that type of content are now no longer going to find it.
It's not gonna come up, yeah.
Yeah, so but tags, it even says now in tags that tags aren't used very much. So it says if you want to put your tags in, great, but it will make your video searchable based on the words that it hears, and anything and any word in the description, and I think within the comments as well, or just what you're known for. So, well, technically, I guess that last one means I probably wouldn't need to tag it as such, but it might mean that my channel's already flagged to have everything marked that way. So, but the nice thing is having a topic that is adult oriented means that I can push on it and not have a problem. I had originally some concerns with some videos because Wonderbolt's Initiation is still marked for kids, because I do not see a point in fighting it, because it isn't, by the definition that YouTube lays out, it's made for kids. It shouldn't be, because the definition is wrong, but by their definition it is. So if I fought on it and it got reversed, then it's because of a mob mentality, not because it's actually a better, or things are fixed. Then
mob mentality seems to only be the only thing that really works, though.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is then it means that the people that have followings are the only people that can actually get the system to work for them, which is not a good thing to do.
Minty's video had a huge mob mentality trying to get it reversed, and it never got reversed because he has nothing to point at.
Yeah,
for what is
wholesome. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate, because that essentially means that the only content worth creating is content that is in some way adult, I guess is the only way to put it. You can't make wholesome content. You have to. No,
you can't make wholesome cartoon content. You can make wholesome content all you want, but if it's in any way because cartoon is called out specifically in the rules.
Yeah.
So because of that, or animation, I guess. So it's going to be targeted differently, and his stuff is considered to be animated. So anything wholesome and animated you'll always be marked for kids. So, and I refuse to just add F word in for the sole purpose of getting around the algorithm. I refuse to do that, because all it means is you're encouraging them to continue the system.
Well, I don't know if that's going to matter either at this point, because Argyle, or whatever, his newest video where he has Framewood as decapitating ponies.
I know, because their system is automated picking all this stuff. Nobody physically reviewed that video, or if they did, they reviewed the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because nobody is going to sit down. I can't remember how many hundreds of hours of video are uploaded within like a very short period of time. Nobody is actually manually reviewing this content. Hey, the one nice thing with this is Chrysalis says crap, so I can technically put level 1 swearing. But I technically did that on the last one for Naysayer too, because technically beeping a swear is considered a level 1 swear. So
man, look at that face, and I think that's probably not for kids.
Okay, yeah. So I need to do the lip sync for her. So, that wasn't part of the project. That was so good. No, it is part. It's part of this It's part of this video, but it's a different map, so I have to keep swapping the map completely.
No, he was talking about the smooth thing.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, the smooth was just no. I don't think
it was pretty good. No, yeah, he posted that one.
How was BABBY for? I like that meme. There's no game. It's just them tossing gasoline into fire and running around like a lunatic. It's them saying, do I want the community to be angry or the government to be angry? And so they're trying to be overly selective on Made for Kids. So the problem is if they're not selective enough, they're in the wrong. If they're too selective, they're also in the wrong. So it comes down to, we're going to be balancing the scales too far one direction, no matter what. So which way are we going to do? Are we going to mark too much or not enough? They're choosing too much.
Yeah, because the other way is massive lawsuits.
Yeah, the one way is angering the government because they're breaking the law. The other one is angering the government because they're overly following the law. So it comes down to they're fucked no matter what way they go, and so they're just picking the way that they have the best chance of winning any problems in regards to. It's a bad way because, especially when you're the one affected by it, you could say like a neighborhood or a whole city that had to be torn down because they needed to put in a dam to help power some area. If you lived in that area, you'd be like, well, God damn it, this is my home. You're taking my home. But for the people that were needing that power, now they're like, well, we don't care. It's not affecting us. We needed this. So in this case, we're the people that the water is coming in on. And because it's affecting us on that side of things.
COPA probably needs a review, but there's no politician that has that really even on their radar. They have
COVID and everything kind of makes it so I think that YouTube's just doesn't care because no, they're not going to do anything about it, and nobody's going to. They like putting in new laws because that looks good. Look, we're protecting kids,
good, yeah.
But then going and backpedaling on a law about protecting kids.
Pay attention to it, yeah.
Well, no, because that's just not going to look good for re-election.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh yeah, you know what he did? They took a law about protecting kids and then they took parts out of it. Mm-hmm. That not going to look good. So nobody's going to want to do that.
We're stuck with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have one?
Which it's a little bizarre that a U.S. law is affecting YouTube, an international platform across the board. But
that's yeah. But I mean, it happened in Australia. It happened in Canada. It happened in England. And
where the same law.
Where a law is passed for a platform and it affects everybody.
Yeah.
So Australia had the one not long ago because news platforms thought that they didn't have enough control or weren't making enough money on digital platforms. So they passed laws in Australia that basically gave them like a complete control over news media on YouTube and stuff. And they ended up striking a deal with them outside of the law, but it ended up changing the way that things were done just because of that one thing. America is big on making laws that the rest of the world has to follow because everybody's using those platforms that were created here.
The only way I see COPA getting even challenged is probably in the smaller courts, and it would have to work its way up.
But who's going to put the money in?
It would have to be YouTube or something, but they've already fought that fight and lost, so...
Yeah, they're not going to win. It'd have to be creators that would, but good luck trying to get the money for that to work.
The resources. It would be Google.
And they can't... You can't sue YouTube, you'd have to sue the government. And doing a class action lawsuit against the government doesn't sound like it's going to go well.
No, it wouldn't go well. You would need resources to even have an attempt. Google has those resources, but they've, like I said, they fought that fight and they lost it once already, and it cost them a lot of money. So they're going to have to create a very good new case before they attempt it again. Like, people give YouTube a lot of crap. But they tried. They tried to...
Well, yeah, because it was going to be expensive for them, and they didn't want to deal with it. They weren't defending creators. They were defending their pocketbook.
They were defending their pocketbooks, yes, but they did try all the same, and they just failed. So now, they're the bad guy for a lot of people, but they're the bad guy who were told that they had to do this against their wishes. Things are fun. How are we feeling? I'm feeling marginally better. I had a beer and it didn't bother me too much. I think today I've just been hungry. Put that pizza away, by the way, if you're wondering.
That's fine.
I'll leave it sitting now.
Hello, Warhorse. Try tango with Equine Anime. No, because nobody's going to search that. And anime itself is animated, so... it shows kids some good old animation like Castlevania and Dota and even Invincible. Yeah. Eventually some parents will be mad about it, and then they'll do something about it, but no creator's going to get anything done.
No individual creator.
Demonic electronic voice of the cozy glow AI malfunctioning before it murders us all.
Like, I have to give to Tridashi. Tridashi has been flailing at them nonstop. And all the more to them.
But I think
they're screaming into the wind a little bit.
People whose livelihood depends on it are going to scream loudest.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't pay the electrical bill or anything. It just helps pay for itself, and so that's a little different from my side. But it is frustrating because the difference between a monetized video and a non-monetized video can financially be huge, depending on if something gets big or not. So it didn't make sense, and the best time for a video is the first 3 days. So if they have it marked made for kids in the first 3 days, even just having it marked and reversed is a huge financial hit for some people.
course. Maybe someday it'll get sorted out. I don't think there's a single pony creator who hasn't felt the made for kids sting at this point.
Also might not care enough. But again, there's a handful out there that it's their livelihood. I wouldn't be surprised where they have a big enough following and whatever, where that is their job. And the difference between being able, like, losing out the equivalent of your rent for the month because of something like that can be rough.
Yeah.
But that's where Patreon and all those come in handy, because they're separate from that, and it's a way to support without having to worry about whether something's monetized. There we go.
I mean, they're made for kids are still monetized. It's just a lot less money.
Yeah, it's because when they're monetized, they're non-directed. If you watch an ad, it's because they pulled the data that is on you, and so they show an ad that's specific to you. And if an ad company is paying for ads, it's going to pay a lot more for it to show an ad to people that it knows or has information that is an ad relevant to them. So they would rather pay 4 to 5 times more for an ad that's directed. But a kid's ads aren't. They have no information on it, which means they're going to pay a lot less for those ads. And since ad revenue is based on a percentage, it means that the made for kids ads, even though people might be distracted just as much as anything else for what ads are being seen, since none of them are specific or relevant based on targeted advertising, they're making significantly less because of that. So that's where you can have the same amount of ads and everything, and it's going to just drastically reduce how much you make on it, because ad revenue on kids' videos suck.
Yes, I saw Warhorse. Congratulations on the new job.
Accepted a new job offer today. Well, you're not working there yet. You could still, like, mess it up. Don't be pooping in public or anything.
You know what you should do, Warhorse, is once you get your first paycheck and you come to visit, you should bring, like, alcohol with you. Celebrate. Because that's what money is for. A place to sleep, a place to take a shower, and a place to drink booze. That's all a home is. And if you don't have the third one, you always can go to a bar. But you need money for that too. It's cheaper to drink at home. And now that we have such a nice place, it's kind of almost like nicer. I mean, I still would like to go to like sociables and stuff, just because the atmosphere is a little bit.
Well, that's why I want to set up a bar over there, because if you can just set up 4 bar stools at a kind of like makeshift bar thing.
Can you get meat on tap?
I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, if you really wanted to, but it's not built to be a wet bar. I would have, for where I want to put it, making a wet. If I had it instead of over where I want to put it over here, we could 100% make a wet tap. Or a wet bar.
If we did that, I would want to maybe ferment some beverages.
Oh, well, because over there we don't have access to water easily.
Why would I need access to
well, I'm saying, like, if you want to make a wet bar, where, because if you're going to be, like, playing around with stuff shooting out, I want access to water.
Well, then you just keep, like, a water cooler tank or something over there.
But if it was on the other side, the bathroom's on the other side of the wall. I mean, you could easily just put a sink there, run the pipe, done.
I think it'd be way easier just to have a bottled water.
It's not the same.
I mean, it's better.
Because if you're going to have things that open up, because then how are you going to clean?
With the spray bottle.
Well, I know, but if you're going to have like a tap where you have tap where things drip all over the place,
yeah,
I would want to have a drip pan connected to some kind of a sink or by a sink, so that I'm not constantly having to spray.
You wipe it up with a towel, man.
I would want to have a wet bar or something like that. Something where you have access, because otherwise, like, how do you do ice?
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can have a freezer over there.
So I have to have a fridge and a freezer.
Yes.
How big of a freezer?
You can put a fridge downstairs.
No, because I've already checked space. I have maybe a space for a small fridge.
You barely have a space to install a sink.
A sink goes into something on the counter on the top. If you have a water,
you can have a mini fridge.
And if you have a water line, you can get an ice maker. But if we're doing a whole freezer just for ice, that sounds like a very expensive add to the electric bill.
You can get a mini fridge and something that makes just ice.
When is the housewarming?
I don't know yet.
We're recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
That's not really on our list right now.
It put a delay on things. The whole COVID nonsense. Soon, me and him should both be out of whatever's by next weekend, so maybe we'll do something. I don't know.
But yeah, I was thinking sometime in September, because mainly the weather's going to be cooler, makes outside stuff a lot easier. I have some of the extra stuff to finalize some of the place in the downstairs coming in early September. I finally got a date finalized for that. So I don't want to have a housewarming and then say, like, here's the half of the house that we're kind of done with, and here's the other half of the house that's completely empty. I'd rather get most of it, like, 70% the way there.
I need to try to order another pinball machine this weekend. The last attempt didn't go well, but now that that's all taken care of, we can try again. That was rough.
Need to put a hot tub out back and slip and slide. No, I'm not a fan of hot tubs. I'm not a fan of water, and really in any way. And a slip and slide, I mean, we do have space for that, but
slip and slides attract bees.
The main thing I like is I wanted a fire pit, and we have a fire pit and a big deck that I haven't even really got to utilize because, again, caught COVID like two weeks after moving in.
I hate slip and slides. I had a traumatic event with the slip and slide when I was a kid. Like, did you ever have a slip and slide?
We've used them before.
Like, did you put soap on them, or did you just do water like you're supposed to?
Just water.
See, you're smart. We thought we could make ourselves go super smooth by getting a ton of dishwashing soap, and
you would go faster.
We covered it, yes, but don't do it. Not because you go faster. That's fine. Sure, soap in your eyes kind of hurts, whatever. But it attracted all these, like, bees. I don't know why. They were swarming us, stinging and biting and everything else. Like, the soap just drove them crazy. And it was horrible because we're going down the slip and slide and, like, bees are landing on us while we're, like, getting up and down off the slip and slide. So we're getting up and going, hey, and then a bee would, like, come at us. And, like, it was not fun. Bees like soap, I think, or something. Don't just use water, kids. Otherwise, bees get angry. I think, you know what a carpenter bee is?
Is it a carpenter ant that flies?
Yeah, they're kind of like bumblebees, but they're not. They look like bumblebees. They look like bigger bumblebees. They eat wood. But anyway. I was working on this barn. I think I mentioned this before, maybe. And all these carpenter bees are swarming around, going nuts because we were banging on essentially their homes with nails and crap because we were trying to, like, patch up this barn. But for the most part, they left us alone. They were buzzing around, kind of being annoying, left us alone. But the top of my head was burning because I'm bald, and I was like, okay, I need to put some sunscreen on. And you want to know one of the reasons I don't like sunscreen is this story is part of it. I put the sunscreen on to not burn up in the sun, and it drove these carpenter bees mad. Like, they immediately started landing on me. One got up the sleeve of my shirt, And the carpenter bees don't sting; they bite. They actually just bite. And this bee like bit me in 4 different places on my arm, and I'm going ow, 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 and I'm climbing down off the top of the barn, like trying to get away, like while also not trying not to hurt myself. That's a cute face. Look at that face. It's like I got this, you knew this would distract me. It's like little bees. But yeah. What's happening there? She's gonna punch in the gut.
It's okay, because it got cozy.
Yeah, it's the sun. Carpenter bees, for whatever reason, that's cute. Go doors.
You cute.
She is cute. She's evil though, but she's cute. She needs a different.
How evil?
Pretty evil. She's arguably the most successful of any of the villains. Like, she got the furthest in defeating the main 6, so she just got Deus Ex Machina by the tree. And again, so did Tyrek.
I have one.
But at least the main 6 had to do something. The tree just kind of showed up on her, and it's like, nope.
What? I have one. Here.
Okay, so now I can copy this to there. Okay.
Oh, that was the No Mares face. Yes, No Mares. I heard that pop. I've just been holding this empty beer.
Okay, so there's hide.
Who's Donnelly?
Donnelly, it's the name of the map.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 different Dear Esther maps, and I know Esther is the cave, but I can never remember the name of the main one, and it's Donnelly. I don't know why it's called Donnelly. There's Donnelly, Paul, Esther, and I forgot what the 4th one was.
They're probably all characters within the stories. Donnelly might be the main character. I don't remember.
Can I have one? Can I have one?
They don't exactly go into depth about the person you play. Well, they do.
Can I have one?
You're basically, he's telling the story of his life.
Here.
But you don't really know much about him in the present. Because he's always talking about the past. If you've never played Dear Esther...
Dear Esther?
Isn't it?
Esther. Like, oh God, here comes Esther again.
It was Dear Esther.
She's coming around. Oh God, run.
You sure it's not Esther?
It's not Esther.
It's Dear Esther.
Dear Esther.
Esther?
Yes.
Esther.
That's the way it's always been.
No, that's the way you've been pronouncing it.
Esther?
Esther.
No, it's not Esther.
It's Esther.
There's an H there.
There's nobody. What'd you say?
Esther.
There's nobody by the name of Esther.
But then who is this?
Esther.
That's it. That is Esther.
That person.
Okay, pronounce TH for me.
Thur. That's Thur. Dear Esther.
No, you said Thur, and then when you added ES, you made it Tur.
That's because that's how that name is pronounced.
Okay. Der Esther. This is Der. That's how you pronounce that. It's Der.
The H is silent next Esther. Yeah.
Well, that's not my problem. I'm reading it how it's spelled.
You're reading it how it's spelled, but nobody is named Esther.
It is right there.
That's not a person's name. It's Esther. It's Dear Esther.
No, there's an H. If that is Esther, this is Der.
Nobody gave...
The A is silent, Michael.
One thing to know about the English language is that it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. And so I'm going to make it my bullshit.
Yeah.
It's Esther.
Can I have one? Can I have one?
My flip popping. Rage flip.
Can I have one? Here.
But anyway, go play it. Whatever it's called. It's pretty good.
Well, I don't know if it's free anymore. Yeah.
It's $10, yeah.
It used to be a mod, but then they made it its own thing.
Yeah,
so
well, the mod's still free.
Yeah.
But, it's
but
not
this is
that's the finished game.
I think I own this one. I actually only got this because I wanted the materials from it. There's a problem with games like this though.
What's that?
Normal other games, because they're made to be played and interacted with, a lot of the assets are separate. But in here, they basically said rocks, and then the entire map, every rock is a single model that just molds across the landscape. So if you load their rock, it is just everything molded to something that's already pre-existing.
Yeah, it was probably...
So you can't pull the certain pieces out. It's more efficient.
Yeah, it's far more efficient.
There's a lot less models, less stuff loading, but it's not usable. The maps are, though.
Good maps, yeah.
The problem is, I got this, and it didn't work. It doesn't actually port directly. You have to...
Well, it's probably Source 2. Edition.
No, you have to find somebody that already went and fixed them all.
Yeah.
So that's why when I go to load the maps, where is it? Under Agile. Yeah, it's called SFM Donnelly, and that's because it was a pack that I downloaded that had all the assets already converted to SFM.
So you bought the game to get the assets, but then you found the assets free elsewhere?
The maps weren't used. I couldn't use the maps. A lot of the models were fine, and there's still issues. For instance, you know, those
particles aren't working.
There's still some broken stuff, but like the water.
It's half to water.
Well, it's not just the reflection; like it actually is moving physically.
Yeah.
Up and down. So they did a really good job with it, but it's because when you build, like, the most efficient game you could possibly make is if you were able to 100% anticipate every single button that the player was going to hit and just have it run as a video, making it think that they're interacting. That would be the most efficient way of doing it, because you only have to show exactly what's on the camera. You know exactly everything coming up. This is closer to that side of things because they can significantly control where you go, what you see, and since there's very little interaction, they don't have to add in all those options. So
those live action video games.
Forgot about her.
She's good, doing good chess.
Can I have one? Here.
Okay, so it's gonna have her.
Yeah, I can't believe it's Friday already. It's like I only worked 2 days this week. The fact that I worked 8 days this week was pretty rough. But, you know. Yay. Just disclosure, I work in a very small office with just me in my office. Still, it's rough. Eat that baby.
That's a stupid face, and you're not getting that.
Not a stupid face. I want it to be the video.
Eat the baby.
Eat the baby. Babies are full of nutrition.
Here.
Doctor recommended.
No one wants.
Delicious. Hello, Dusty Cat. Yes. It comes in. It's like, what are these fellows up to? It's like, eat the baby.
Look at the gorgeous little baby.
Can I have one? Here.
Yes.
No one wants this one. What is that thing? A mistake.
Mistake.
It's so freaking creepy. I love it. Full of sugar and everything nice. Oh yeah, I guess they are full of, they always say like babies smell nice because they always have a smell to them that makes you like want to care for them. But maybe it's just they're being delicious.
You're just gonna have that one ant. It's like, oh, he's so cute. I just want to eat him up.
Can I have
it's like,
one?
I'll be right back. And you come back. It's like, I warned you. She's the baby's gone. She ate him. Watch that skit. It's like ants who eat children. Just come in flocks.
Here.
Flocks of ants. Ants. Baby. It's like flurry of
I only got it for SFM. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm big on if I'm going to use something, and there's a purchasable method for it, I will purchase it, because I'm taking something that somebody put a lot of work into, and I should reimburse them appropriately.
So am I the only person here who bought Dear Esther to actually play it as a game because I heard it was
I played it too. Okay. So I didn't just buy it for the assets. That was Pirates, Vikings, and Kings, I think.
I've never...
No, I think... Or was that a free one too? I have bought games before just so I could rip the assets. But I don't... But at least with Dear Esther, I did play through it fully.
I mean, I would suggest like buying the Pony game on PC just for the assets, but somebody's already ripped all those. And some people... I've seen a couple of videos already made with those assets. But I think back to like when people were first doing 2D animations and somebody like managed to sneak out all the actual puppets for Flash that were used in the actual show, and there were certain like little like they knew they were the puppets from the show because there were certain little imperfections in the puppets from the show that were that they could not have copied exactly. So Hasbro kind of went after those people using the puppets because that was the show puppets. And now the video game's out, and these are very clearly the models from the game that people are using, and I'm kind of wondering, are they going to go after it the same way, or are they just going to kind of accept it and move on? I haven't seen them go after them yet, so we'll see. Could be too that
going creator by creator would be impossible because it would never end. You have to cut out the source. You can't just cut out the end.
Well, they were pretty adamant about it with the Flash puppets from the show.
But that was... Well, I guess the other one was their asset too, but that's different because a lot of that content could be pretty easily interpreted as official content, where I think the stuff from the game probably won't.
I have to imagine Hasbro's probably learned a few lessons from the first round of dealing with creators. Because they didn't really have to deal with that until G4. Like, there was probably some of it, but...
Well, that's just any creator community or any community in general wants to make stuff, and getting the official ones are just the better way to do it.
There just wasn't a whole lot of creators, I imagine, making, like, knockoff G3 stuff on YouTube that was of any actual quality.
Well, there wasn't a YouTube, I think, in G3.
E-Bomb's World.
I don't even think then. Like, the internet really didn't start taking off until, like, maybe mid-90s, late 90s.
G3 was pretty late on. Like, G1 was the 80s, yeah. 2003 to 2009. That ran a long time. That ran way longer than I thought.
Was it seasons. What, did it go through 2003, 2009?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but oh well, Gen 3 was a little different. I think that those were kind of creepy, and then Gen.
Well, you created another Gen 3.5. When did that run? 2000. It ran one season in the summer of 2009. Yes.
Look at it. Look at it.
It's a Pinkie Pie.
Look at the horses.
This is the Rainbow Dash. Play it. I'm gonna get copyright.
Sweetie Belle's Gumball House Surprise.
Oh boy. Hasbro learning lessons. Dusty, where's your faith?
Oh no, that was just third generation.
The corporate overlord that is Hasbro.
This is waifu right there.
Yes. Is that?
She's 18 years old. That's how it works, right?
We can imply anything we wish on the imaginary characters. Don't make me hit myself with a wooden gun again. Oh, you gotta be nice to Hasbro, Dusty. I'm sure by this point they have like a satellite that just watches your house. Gotta keep tabs.
Okay, we're gonna go a little bit up on the eyes here.
Too many shenanigans. It's the Shenanigan Detector 5000. It's floating in space.
So, bronies are good at shenanigans.
Yeah. I remember hearing stories that Hasbro was like super nervous when the first like brony convention started happening because they were afraid of how it would reflect on them, to the point where they were actually sending out representatives to kind of try to get a feel for what was actually going on there.
And now they're the oldest bronies in the community.
Well, I think at this point they're like, okay, we know what it's about. Just like, don't tell us about it. And I don't know. Who knows what's in their minds at this point? Just can't trust those people who make My Little Pony animations without the proper licensing.
Yeah, it was butts.
Kind of monsters. That's what they are.
It's okay, I'll market for kids. Cthulhu's attempt at a kids show. They realized they can make the monies. I would watch a Cthulhu kid show. Mm-hmm. That would actually be pretty cool. That actually sounds like "Don't touch me, I'm scared," or "Don't hug me, I'm scared."
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
That sounds like amazing. A Cthulhu kid show. Like some weird subliminal message.
Abominable. Well, Hasbro has two major brands: Transformers and My Little Pony. They have, like, as far as animations are concerned and marketing, and they were super protective of it, like, and rightly so. And the last thing they need is like the thought of like parents coming down on them. We went to a My Little Pony thing and there was things that were not appropriate for our children, and then that getting into the papers and then coming back on Hasbro, why would you allow this to happen to your IP? Are you not protecting it? And I'm sure that was a concern of theirs in the early days.
I remember I posted some like tweets way back where I was just like having some drinks and doing some stupid stuff during a pony convention, and some person retweeted like, and this is why I would never bring my daughter to a My Little Pony convention. I'm like, we're in a hotel room. We're doing whatever the fuck. This is,
yeah.
When I'm on the floor, I'm not swinging around from telephone poles and taking off my shirt and screaming obscenities.
Yeah, you wait till he gets back in the hotel.
I'm in the hotel room before I do that. I am respectful, and I keep my shirt on until in a private space most of the time.
Here.
Which is appreciated. Which is very much appreciated. Gotta have some respect when you're like prancing around like a pony and talking about Rainbow Dash. Those pony butts.
Michael, it's been 2 hours. You only had one beer.
Do you want another beer?
I love how you asked that just because you were going to say no, but if I said yes, then you would say yes?
Yeah. That's exactly how this works. Because I'm hesitant to want get another beer just because. But if you're getting another beer, do you just want me to grab a random thing out of that cream
give me one of the blue. No, give me an orange one.
You had to think about it.
It's orange, blue, pink, and green.
I have one.
This is a green.
Can I have a cream ale?
I guess.
You acted like you didn't really want to give me a cream ale.
I got a lot of them. I just want an orange one.
I want to drink something besides.
Grab me one too.
Guinness.
I would, but I would definitely would.
We have Guinness, Blue Moon, and cream ales.
They're not just normal cream ales. That's a pistachio cream ale, and then I have a dreamsicle cream ale, Italian ice cream ale, and a snow cone cream ale. They're all like limited editions from a local brewery, and they're very good.
We also have some brandy, which is pretty decent.
I'll take a green. The green is the pistachio. But at least go grab me an orange, and you can pick whichever one you want from there.
Cool.
And then I think I still have one Castle Danger cream ale left. And I think there's also a couple sociable ciders in there. We have a lot of random stuff. Adam the Amazing was in town, and so we just did we bought a bunch of booze to drink, and then we caught COVID right after he left. So like we had all this leftover booze. But anyways, cheers, Blair. So harder. 1 and 2. And then 3. All right. No, I love those cream ales one, but it was hard to find because they, one of our friends would find the 12 packs as limited edition sometimes, but I could never find them by me. And I finally found it, like, I don't know, maybe in this side of the cities, they finally came out. I finally found them. They're great. I love those ones. I'm going to buy them pretty consistently until they're out. I think it might be just this summer thing.
I couldn't remember. Did you ask for blue or orange?
I said orange. The blue is my favorite.
Well, then I'll drink a different one.
No, it's good. I'm going to go get more when they're out, so.
All right. Gonna be like, that was my favorite and last
This
one.
is a there it is. This is a dreamsicle one with notes of let's see if the focus there. It's orange, cream, and childhood. There it goes. That one, did they change it? I think they changed it.
It says berries, citrus, and that man who went missing last week.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, so they changed it. But no, it might have been one of the other ones. No, I thought it was the blue one. Yeah, so this one says it's notes of... I gotta get it behind my head here. There we go. Come on, stop looking at my face.
You're showing them a very blurry can.
Come on.
It's like you're trying to
there it goes.
You immediately move it closer to the...
Yeah, so this was berry, citrus, and nostalgia, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that was originally listed with City Pool.
Nostalgia tastes like watching Tsunami? It was Tsunami.
Tsunami. I'm pretty sure Tsunami. You actually took the pun they made and then went back to the
I undid the
original.
pun. No, watching Tsunami and like playing Sega or Super Nintendo, depending on.
That dreamsicles. I think like my taste buds still aren't 100% yet, but that one really pops with that orange. Flutterman arrested for DUI claims he only drank at stoplights. He wasn't technically driving.
It's good.
I love that one. It's just something crisp about it and refreshing.
I'm just happy my sense of taste has come back after 5 days.
What is the alcohol content? I thought that was like 5%. Yeah, this is 5.5%. That's probably the same. 5-something% is to me my preferred amount, because if you go so much lower than that, it starts getting to the point of it's just not enough. It doesn't feel like it has much in there. It doesn't feel like a beer. But if you start going into like the 8-9%, like Indeed, the same place has a Mexican honey that's I think 8.8, and I love that beer. It's really good. But then it feels like you can only... when you get the big can, that's the equivalent of basically 3.5 of these smaller cans. So most of the times, I'd rather have more drinks than less with more alcohol. I think shots are stupid.
Isn't it weird, though, that I still feel like in my head that drinking beer is somehow worse than drinking wine? But wine is double the alcohol content.
It's double the alcohol, but you don't chug it like beer.
I mean, you can.
And usually it has, I would think it has more sugar, but I don't know.
It might, but that doesn't cut the alcohol.
9% strong, 0. Yeah, that's why I love that 5% range, 5 to 6%. Though that Mexican honey, it's good stuff. So I do like doing that, but it only comes in the tall can too. So you're getting like 50% more liquid, but that equivalent is much more than a normal can. Normally, like if we're having a bonfire, I want to be able to just keep sipping on something. But if I'm drinking like 2 or 3 cans and then I'm already like toasted, well then I have to stop having stuff. I mean, it's nice just having a cool, refreshing liquid in your hand with the bonfire. It's so nice.
Honestly, the one thing I love to do out there is just drink straight whiskey, but I know how quickly that would go bad.
Yeah, probably.
There's been a few times we've been sitting here and I've just been like, all I have is whiskey. I'm just going to drink whiskey. And then I'll be like, hour 2.5 in the stream and be like, whoa, there's horses.
When we sat at the bar, I did want to get
cute.
I did want to get like a nice whiskey and a nice scotch and stuff, and then like get decanters, like nice looking decanters for over there too. So you get like the boop, top, and oh, that's so nice. They have like even like these little glass things you can get. They're like a glass container with a little spout, so you can just go up to it with like a glass, just go and get yourself some booze.
Here.
Chill just now.
I'm gonna shrink that
We're
back
in the
down
basement.
again.
Basement children.
Yes, we were in the main floor. Now we're in a basement. It does make it a little
But
cooler.
if you spend all your time in the basement
No
and
one
I'm
wants-
upstairs, are you like the basement baby? And then I'm like the person upstairs who like, not being the basement baby?
Maybe, but you're right above me. You literally sit
Yeah. No, if
perfectly above me.
I do.
No.
It's like some weird
Can I have one?
weird positioning.
Have one? I have one. Can I have one?
This don't hurt.
I didn't know. You can tell where they like tore up part of the ceiling to install that light. Or they kind of repainted it.
Oh, I think all the ceiling's new. I just think that was a whole new ceiling they put in over there.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have one.
Just there's two different paints
Can
there.
I have one?
One's a gloss paint and one's a
Have
flat.
one?
Oh yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, night harmony.
I don't know
Here.
anyone who would. I mean, they must sell a lot of gloss paint, but it always looks so trash, no matter what it's used in. Always makes the walls look like they're covered in oil. The only place I could... Maybe it offers more water protection? That would make sense. You use it in bathrooms. Sure, there's a reason for it. Dusty, are you having a drink tonight? Because it is a Friday night, and I imagine a lot of people are having a drink. If anyone is having a drink tonight, let us know.
And what is it you're drinking?
Yes. And how much? and are you expecting to be arrested at any point for any alleged crimes you may... Your root beer. Or worse.
Root beer's good too. Well, it depends. If you say Bargs, Mug, or A&W, bad on you.
What?
I'm having a blizzard. Okay, that wins.
But let me guess. Your local root beer, that one, what that stuff I've actually never had. It's the local beer that you guys make a big deal. No, you guys make a big deal about this local root beer.
Schreckers?
Like, no, it's like 1860.
Oh, 1919.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's local though.
It's
it's expensive though.
Yeah, but like, so what's wrong with A&W? Or Bard's is good.
No, A&W is at least. If I had to pick one of those three, if I had to pick those, it would go A&W, Mug, then Bargs.
Bard is definitely above Mug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A&W first.
Yeah.
Then Mug, then Barks.
No, other way around with Mug and Bard's. Mug's not that good.
I would rather have Mugs. I think it might be a nostalgia thing.
A&W is the best of the three.
I'm more of a cream soda fan anyway, but I do not like some of those cheap ones, but I used to be a big cream soda and root beer snob where I would get some of the fancier ones, a lot of the cane sugar ones. Like, have you ever heard of Frost Top?
Nope.
It's actually they're basically the A&W of Ohio.
A&W's in Ohio.
Yeah, but there's Frost Top is just they're like an A&W where it's like a root beer stand.
Yeah.
But they have just a couple locations, but you used to be able to find Frost Top in bottles around here. Oh, they're so good.
Remember that one
cream soda? I've heard Coney Island root beer. I think I've actually heard of that one. I can't remember though.
You know, the kind of soda, I've seen it up here once or twice, but it's not really around here. It's Big Red's cream soda. That, I used to drink that a lot when I was a kid. And I think I got it one time for a convention, but I don't remember if you had a can or not, because I think you were being pretty adamant about not drinking a lot of sugar at the time.
My favorite cream soda, I don't think it was Frost Top. It was some other brand, and it came in these like tall glass bottles, and it would come like a 4-pack for like $8. And this was like 10 years ago, so that was expensive, but the smoothest, best cream soda I've ever had. It was so good.
I remember this one cream soda I used to drink all the time, and I do not remember the name of it. It was in a glass bottle. And I used to drink tons of it. Some of those basic sodas are some of the best. They taste good, but they don't become super popular because they're caffeine free.
Well, root beers are generally caffeine free.
Yeah, and so are cream sodas.
Yeah. But I don't care about caffeine if it tastes good.
Yeah, but like, how are you going to compete with a soda that is an addictive drug at the same time?
Yeah, but that's more... Most people are addicted to the sugar, not the caffeine.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I just want the caffeine. Especially if you're late making coffee.
Oh, it's root beer with alcohol. I've had some pretty good alcoholic root beer drinks, but it really depends.
You mean not your father's root beer?
Yeah, no, A&W has cream soda. I used to... When I was poorer, and I was drinking soda, sometimes I would do that.
I'd say A&W definitely doesn't have the best cream soda. They have good root beer, they don't have the best cream soda.
Yeah, theirs not the best, but like the Frost Top you could buy in like 1-liter bottles.
Yeah.
And they weren't that expensive. So that's what I used to get.
I can't really say how good the 1919 is, because as long as I've been here, I still haven't had it.
Oh, it's just very smooth, and it's that like fulfilling rich sweetness. It's because it's all cane sugar, and it used to be that the only way to get it in the store was to buy a mini keg.
Yeah.
So you had to, and it used to be $19.19. Okay. And now it's not because inflation, but you had to actually tap your own keg. But the problem was within 2 to 3 days it was flat. Ooh. So, and it was a lot. So if we ever did it, it would be for like, we're going to have people over, so we're going to make root beer floats. Well,
from a business perspective, it kind of makes a little bit of sense, because then you're only ever buying it for special occasions. So it becomes the good root beer that you buy on special occasions. It was good root beer, though. You can sometimes find it on tap at places, and if they do, they make a big deal that they have 1919. Yeah. But I've often seen the ones where they're like, if you want root beer, we have A&W in 1919, but the 1919 is going to cost you like 50% more. Mm-hmm. And no free refills. Oof. But my dad, or I've been with people that are like, yep, give me the 1919. Don't care. Because who cares? At that point, after that, drink water. They have, I know they have 1919 at the Kowalski's near my work, and that's the only place I've seen it.
State Fair, too. Yeah. State Fair, one of the big stands there is the 1919 stand, because you can go there and get a big glass of 1919 root beer, or you can get a float as well.
It's been a while since I had a root beer float.
They're pretty good. Though I feel like if you're going to make a root beer float, 1919 and root beer, or with a float, feels like you're taking something really good and then mixing in something else to dumb it down. Where I would rather just have a glass of 1919 and then use something cheaper for a root beer float.
Like A&W.
Yeah, because with that, I'd almost want... Because 1919 doesn't have as much fizz. It's a much finer fizz. I would want something with more of a fizz for a root beer float. Like a bigger bubble. Yeah, I don't know if we were planning to go to the state fair ourselves. Thank you for the follow, the Airhead Windy Pone. Thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if we were IBC. That's a good one too.
Oh, that's the one that used to drink the cream soda. That was the cream soda.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if we were planning the state fair this year just because it's just for food, and we've been there a lot. We do want to go to the Renaissance Fair this year, though. Yeah. We just haven't worked out which weekend or weekends to go. It's a bit more to get in, but there's a lot of cooler stuff. And one of them, they have pet weekends, so you can have pets walking around with armor and dressed up. Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I would. I don't know. I just enjoy the atmosphere of those places. But I think, though, I've only ever been to maybe 2 Renaissance fairs. And the first time I ever went to one, I remember not having that good of a time. I remember just kind of wandering around.
Were you by yourself?
I was with my family.
Yeah, that's a little different. When you're with friends and you can just F around, that to me, if I was at the state fair would be boring if I was with certain people, but it would be way more fun with others. So it just depends.
I think the most fun I had at the Renaissance Fair is at the very end. There was a comedian up on stage at the Renaissance Fair, and he's one of those comedians that does magic tricks while also telling jokes.
Okay, yeah.
And
they hired one of those guys for my work one time.
Really?
Like they had a big all hands meeting where everybody attended to get updates on stuff, and they hired one of those guys.
Yeah. No, that was the most fun I had though. Was just watching that guy because he was really good and his jokes were generally funny.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the guy that was hired for that, but that just seemed like really weird for the type of work that we do.
It's probably just like somebody higher up like saw him somewhere. It's like, oh,
that's actually what they said. Yeah. And then they were like, come here, I want to see you doing the thing with the rabbit again. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was fun, but it was just weird.
No, like I like shows like that. Like, so if we went to the Renaissance Fair, that's kind of what I would want to see is some of the shows.
I'd have to see, especially if it's animal shows.
You just want to go and see like...
I want to see little puppies in the armor.
I want to see like humans doing human things.
And now human music.
It's so good. No, you've made it very clear about what your intentions are at the Renaissance Fair is to see puppies.
That is the one costumes. Weekend, but they have the Irish weekend, which also sounds fun, and Oktoberfest, which also sounds fun.
I would almost want to do the Irish weekend because I feel like do they theme the food?
That I'm guessing is based on vendor. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of it is shamrock. There's going to be a lot more mint stuff, which I don't know if that's quite Irish, but...
well, it's Irish in Americans' heads.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it's going to be sort of, kind of, but I think they'll try to make some of it authentic.
Like if they were doing a German night...
That's Oktoberfest.
Okay, so maybe...
Because that's Oktoberfest. That's...
Well, that makes sense. I kind of, in my head, it was all going to be about the booze, but now that I think about it, if it's about the food as well... Like, but I love German food.
And it's also not everybody we go anywhere with is all into beer. So the pet one is, to me, a good balance. Providing entertainment for everybody, but we also get to drink.
Making excuses. See puppies.
I think that I like... Oktoberfest sounds like fun, but also sounds like more some of the things that we already kind of do. The pet thing is fun, but the Irish one is where it sounds like something different. Like something we don't normally do.
If a dog steals my wiener...
Hello, Nightly. Yeah, we're working on...
stealing my dog. Eat it.
Isn't she adorable? She's just so cute.
My little pony. My little pony.
This is really cute. It's weird working for someone who keeps you in a cage as well. Well... Somebody plugged your internet back in. I see, Michael.
Oh, no.
This makes me sad.
Just let him know.
Well, okay, Nightly, here. Well, I'll finish this so you can see what the joke is for it.
Can I have one?
Oh, yeah.
Baby time.
You want to start from the beginning?
Can I have one? Here. No one wants this one. What is that thing? A mistake.
So there.
Mistake.
Here.
Nightly, get back in your cage, which is in the hole, the bottom of the sea.
Who lives in a big hole under the sea?
Nightly square.
I do.
Got a little square butt. You think SpongeBob takes square poops?
That sounds like a podcast question.
Save it for the podcast.
My follow-up would be, do you take people poops? They come out like little voodoo dolls?
Sometimes they're human shaped.
Kind of, maybe.
Yeah, I mean if he has a square pants, he's got a square butt. Does he have a square butthole? That's the question. Is that a bad question to ask?
They make bricks from them, yeah. Oh, so say Flurry's voice. So actually, so
questions.
that Flurry voice is actually.
They make bricks from them. Yes.
There.
I'm gonna move on.
So that actual voice.
Mama!
It's actually Applejack, from this.
Watermelons killed my father. And freed my mama.
So it's just
My mama.
that, but played slow. It just originally it was just there because I knew I had somebody saying saying mama.
G1 was actually good.
And so I just left, but it ended up being funny where I'm just probably gonna keep it because it's just something creepy. The next title is set. What did we? Oh, the next title for podcast, or unless you turn with Michael and Butts on these streams, the more I edit and watch them.
Butts are an important
Butts
part.
and snoots.
Oh, don't put them together though. That is unfortunate for the snoot one. I don't know. Butts are just kind of an important part of life, you know? Everyone has one. Everyone needs one. And if they ever stop working, it's bad. It's real bad. It's a tiny mouth.
Michael's favorite thing is just tiny mouth.
Tiny mouth.
And tiny baby.
No, not the baby. The baby is...
But he wants you.
No. The baby is very, like, G3. That's G3.5 right there. Wait, what did I say? I'm gonna go beat up my parents. No.
That was on May 2nd.
Neat.
I don't know what you were doing on May 2nd.
I don't know either. Apparently.
It was on art, so.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, sorry again.
Here.
Okay, so she's kind of scared. No, I did put the screen right there. I'm not going to bother with the lip syncing there, so we're going to just do this one here. Let's do the cleanup.
Here.
Quotes are fun.
The quotes are fun, especially when we forget where they came from. Love is like life, painful and hopefully ends sooner rather than later.
Yes.
I missed that we'd lost like 150 quotes.
Some of them were pretty good. We'll never hear them again. But such is life. The house burns down. You start it over. Buzz, buzz. You set that baby on fire. It's already in a wicker basket. I mean, it's just asking for it.
Yeah, it's already lined with gasoline.
Yes.
With a note just saying, it's ready.
It's ready.
Butts and boops, butts and boops. Michael cheers for butts and boops.
Butts and boops.
You gotta do the...
You could open up a restaurant and call it that.
Butts and boobs.
Come on down to Butts and Boobs.
Okay, you're making it sound like that is definitely a buffet.
Yeah, no, for certain.
All you can eat butts and boobs.
Bring your butts on down to Butts and Boobs, where we have an unlimited gravy tray. All the gravy you could ever eat, we funnel it right into your mouth hole. Mm-hmm.
Right in your mouth hole?
Yeah, this is gravy. It's all that we serve. Just troughs of gravy.
Gravy troughs. Yes. Nothing says quality like a trough.
Come on down and get your fill. Unlimited refills on cups of gravy and bowls of gravy and cubes of gravy. How do we do it? Screw you, that's how.
Here.
So get on down and get yourself a big old heaping pile of
Just,
crap we made.
welcome to Butts and Boobs, where trough is a unit of measurement, not just reserved for pigs.
That is right, sir. It's like, yeah.
Do you like Jell-O? Troughs of it. Do you like milk? Troughs of it. Do you need to use the bathroom? Troughs of it.
I mean, it's the future of food, man. I'm gonna start holding things. Like, you don't want to have to be bothered with like what to get, like a menu with 100 different things on it. Like, should I get the chicken today? Should I get it cooked medium perfect or whatever?
Medium perfect.
Yeah, it's like, you just show up, be like, I'm here, and they'll be like, to get the latch onto the gravy hose, and you just go over and you bite down, and then you get filled full of gravy and you go home.
To get to your seat, you have to ride the gravy slip and slide.
So it's, you open your mouth while going down to get most of your money.
I ain't wasting this gravy.
I mean, they just you just hook up to the gravy hose.
And then the end of that just leads right to like the turkey line and just puts it.
then they know to unhook you when tears start like running down your face. Like, it's when they unhook you from the gravy hose, and they're just like, okay.
Unhook you from the gravy hose.
Yeah, because like you're latched on that pretty good. I mean, it's good gravy. It's made out of like butter and flour and
it's made up of like brown food coloring, water, and starch.
This is the grease from the McDonald's trucks.
Yeah.
just take that stuff, turn it into gravy. It's just all gravy.
This is the stuff that came out of the bottom of the Applebee's dumpster.
Yes. That's where we get all our grease and gravy. It's perfect. It's a perfect business. There's no flaws.
Here.
Hey, who wants to come to my gravy restaurant?
What do we put the gravy on? Put gravy on things? Here's a spoon.
Yes, you eat the gravy. Gravy enemas. That's how you get it super fast.
Here.
It's a versatile restaurant. So there's a baby. There's a baby, huh?
Not IV gravy.
Just right into the bloodstream. We'll send your bill to your next of kin.
Yes. Tender Butts and Boobs, you need to sign this here waiver.
Yes. You need to get a co-signer in case you don't survive the gravy train.
It just says in the contract, I waive liability.
Yes.
That's it.
Like, I promise to not sue in the case of getting the Ebola from the gravy bowls. The gravy tub.
The gravy tub. It's trough. We went over this.
Oh, we just kind of went to the dump yard and filled every container we could find with gravy, and then we kind of just set everybody up. You know when you go to the grocery store and they have those donation bags where it says buy $14 worth of food to donate. Yeah,
I feel like that's just how that restaurant's run. It's like we took one of them bags and we ground it up. We don't even know what's in it.
That's right.
It's the special.
We just let a herd of pigs into this little grinding machine here, and then we started just feeding it.
We don't have a rat problem. It's a rat benefit.
It's just extra protein in your meal.
Profits went up 8% since we started adding rats.
Double up as an extermination business.
If they eat the food, it's just feeding the food.
We could totally like double up some of the business. Get a guy who cleans up roadkill. That could be like our food.
I feel like the FDA might have a problem.
We're gonna cook the hell out of that gravy. It's gonna be fine. They won't even know.
But that's expensive because you got to pay for the gas.
We could just burn excess corpses. Pay for itself.
For the customers that don't pay.
Oh no. Well, every once in a while just somebody falls into the gravy trough, and since we recycle the gravy, we don't always catch them.
Or just push them in. Whoops.
Whoops. Price of gravy just went up a little bit. Extra protein in the meal now.
This gravy's been aged for... How old was Grandma again? 84 years.
Vintage gravy.
The vintage gravy is not a phrase I want to hear.
High class.
When we opened this here can, it was only half full because all the termites got in there. Termites love gravy. Why am I talking with this like stupid accent?
Because you're into it. You're into the idea of the gravy restaurant, butts and boops.
Butts and boops.
Don't forget the name. Butts and boops gravy.
I don't like that the word butts is followed by a very light brown liquid.
Butts and boops gravy house. Come on in. This is the perfect restaurant. Get some signer-ons.
I like, gravy slip inside. I brought that up. We need one.
Yeah.
If they are rude, they get the raw roadkill. For some people, that might be what they want.
Yeah.
Roadkill venison is just as good as shot and dragged through the woods. Yeah, I mean, it's tenderized. Restaurant called Gravy Barrel, where every meal is served with the wine barrel filled with gravy. That still sounds kind of expensive.
Just tap the barrel, stick your mouth on the tap.
We have the greatest gravy dispenser here that Michael picked up.
Oh yes. Do you want me to get it?
I mean, you can, but that's a long ways to go.
I gotta put something in it too. No, because you have to demonstrate.
No, don't.
And put water in it.
No, that'd be.
Then I could drink from it.
No. It's a gravy dispenser that's a big deer head with a mouth that's open, and it's just something funny when you put gravy in it and you pour it out and it just comes out in chunks, and because it's just, and the rule is when you go to pour out the gravy you have to go blah, 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 because it's just like all over the place. Cleaning that thing is a biatch, though. It is,
but it's worth it because it's funny.
It is pretty funny, and Michael paid money for it.
It's always nice on the holidays to have a bodiless creature barf some form of chunky liquid onto your food.
Well, if you're going to do it, at least have some fun with that. Okay, so I don't think I can actually bring the eyes down here. Oh, I can bring them down a little bit. Because, like, here, when she opens her eyes, it's dangerous to have the eyes come up from below because it's like counter the motion. But here, I think I actually can.
Sir Edward, I am a good cook. I can throw a Hot Pocket in the microwave like nobody's business.
Well, Michael can cook, but Michael can do 3-course meals and that's it.
They're good 3-course. It's like
other than a 3-way, which is already a 3.
When I make soup.
Yeah, but that was much later. But like
I did it once early on. But
okay,
you complained about and it became a big joke about big soup.
Okay, so outside of just a general pot full of food and a very specific recipe from your homeland, what else do you make that's not a 3-course meal?
I made steam buns that one time. That was pretty good.
That's not a consistent thing. That was you experimenting.
I make ramen all the time.
That's a pack of ramen. No, everything else is a 3-course meal.
Yes, but that's not a bad thing.
It's always, you get your protein, you have your carb, and your veggie. Every meal.
Yeah, it's a balanced meal.
I know. And then I'm like the opposite. Is like I like doing a bowl with rice with a whole bunch of that stuff mixed in.
I've made stir fry multiple times. From scratch.
When was the last time you made it?
It's been a bit because we haven't cooked since moving here.
No, it's been a while since before then.
I cooked one time, and that was the burgers. That's barely cooking.
I was going to stop and pick up some stuff, but it just didn't work out because that TV pickup, so.
Yeah. No, I make things, and sometimes I experiment. It's not often, because I'm tired, and I work, and I'm sad, but could maybe like get a wandering stray dog or something for next weekend.
No, I have a list of stuff I want to pick up, but I'm just gonna have to pick it up tomorrow. So I was all ready to walk out the door, and then I'm like, oh crap, this guy's gonna come pick up the TV, and I'm going to be gone when he comes. And oh, that was the other thing. So again, for those that were here earlier, TV, my big 65-inch TV got busted and moving, so I ordered a new one to replace it, and it comes in and it's busted, broken screen. And so I set up a return, but Samsung, which I got it through mainly because my work has a actually really nice work discount through Samsung, I got a really good deal on a new one, and so I ordered it. It's broken, but then their return policy is send it back to us and buy a new one. Problem is the price went up 30% since then, and so I'm like, knowing that I can get the original price, but I'm going to have to bitch about it. And so I had been putting off for a couple of days, and so I called today to Samsung's customer service, which I already kind of bitch about for some other stuff, but I called them today about it, and I was like, okay, yeah. So I explained the exact situation. I'm like, so right now I'm being charged like so much money to basically pay for the damage. And they're like, oh, no, don't worry about it. We'll price match it. And I'm like, just like that? Like, yep. And they're like, you still have to buy the new one before the refund comes in, because they're not going to send a new one until they can confirm that you're actually going to send back the other one. But they're like, but as soon as the refund comes through for the original one, I put a note in here and a ticket, and they sent me an email with proof and everything. And they're like, just let us know when you get the refund. Call us again, and then we will reimburse you again for the difference between the two. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm thinking this was going to be like me pissed off about something and having a bitch, because that's just how you get your way.
Samsung has the money to take the blow.
It was actually really easy. I mean, I haven't gotten the full thing go through, so we'll see. But I thought I was going to have to bitch, because it says right on their website, we do not do replacements.
Yeah.
Send us back the damaged one, buy a new one. That's how this works.
I tell you.
But kudos to them on that. That's actually, buying direct through Samsung is not a bad experience. They usually give you a ton of free stuff, because then they don't have to pay a third party to sell their products. So
I tell you, the one company I'm still kind of angry with is PayPal. I managed to work something out.
But that's partially your fault too.
Yeah, it's partially my fault, but they weren't willing to help me. My bank was.
But they weren't willing to help you because you put things in to where they had no liability. They had no care.
Well, they didn't have to care, but they also
because you made a choice for them not to care.
Well, I tried to stop them before the transaction even happened, and they just chose not to care.
No, they don't, because they don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Yeah, because you made a choice.
Because you don't have to care.
Michael tried to get scammed.
Should. I wasn't trying to get scammed. It took a lot of effort to not get scammed. Basically, things started to take place that I realized were bad immediately. And then I tried to stop a transaction, and I contacted PayPal to stop the transaction, and PayPal came back with a no. So I had to stop the transaction with my bank, which my bank stopped, and then PayPal was like, hey. And I'm like, I wrote him like so many angry emails, like, I'm not going to let you allow me to get robbed. You can hey at me all you want.
But they have all... So this is why, if you go to buy something online, and somebody says, hey, send it friends and family, don't.
I mean, I have in the past, and it's worked out fine.
I know, but the whole point of a protection is to protect you when things go wrong. Because if you do friends and family, basically it's saying it's a free transaction, but they give you no protection. But if you pay as a business, the person who's going to has to pay extra. And if they say, well, then you need to pay that fee, fuck it, do it. Just add a couple extra dollars on. But it means that then PayPal will defend you if you have to retract it, and will, if it was a scam, they will just reimburse you and take the hit themselves. That is why that fee is there. So if somebody says just do friends and family, and you don't know that person,
do that again.
Don't do it, because that's them saying it's a big. It could be them just wanting to save money, but it also is a big hand wave of I'm a scam. If they say that, just say, can I put it through the other way? but add a few dollars. And if they still say no, then don't trust that.
Yeah. No, I've done it before where I did friends and family, and they were like, yeah, because like I think it was international. It was for a plush. And I knew they had the plush, and I talked to them, and they had made plushes for people, and they had pretty good reputation. And they just didn't want to pay like the international taxes.
But the thing is, if it's still friends or family, you should still technically have to pay it. So
yeah,
it's mainly just about protection. So I would rather just pay the protection fee in that regard for the person, if that is their reason.
I had gotten comfortable with paying friends and family because it had gone well so many times. But
that's the thing is,
eventually Bit tried to buy me in the butt, yeah.
Yeah, but it's saying it's like somebody has 10 knives and they throw 9 at you and 9 of them miss. You're like, well, the 10th one can't hit.
Well, a trust had been built up that was undeserved. And anyways, PayPal wouldn't stop it, but when I realized the transaction hadn't gone through my bank account yet, I just called up my bank and I was like, don't let this through. And then PayPal was like, hey, your transaction didn't go through. I'm like, yep.
But that's where PayPal can, if they wanted to, just shut down your account.
Yeah. No, I had already shut down my account by that point.
I know. No, I mean, they can just literally lock it and say, you know what, we don't trust you as a person using this service. Yeah. So that's where it's...
I think they didn't because they had received like 4 angry emails from me, but...
Well, yeah, they don't care about your emails.
I know. Like... It was a mess. But... It managed to stop from getting scammed. It just was not easy. And PayPal didn't make it easy.
No, they did, and you chose not to. You keep blaming PayPal, but they literally have an option, and you chose to agree to the scammer's demands. It's like giving somebody that's robbing you a gun, and then they shoot you, and you're like, why did you shoot me?
Well... No, it's like giving somebody you think you can trust a gun, and then when they pull the gun on you, you ask the guy in charge of the building to do something, and they look at you and be like, not my problem. That's what that's like.
Side topic. Warhorse, you get another HelloFresh box this week. Are you getting it because of the big discount? Because I know, like, it's the same thing with me as I'm getting a lot of advertisements from them because I did them for a couple of weeks. They had some issues, but I got a bunch of free stuff, so it's okay. But now they keep advertising, like, getting another first week for cheap. I'm tempted to just do the first, like, 2 weeks again. They're expensive, but 50% off the first box. That, to me, is kind of worth it, and I've thought about doing that again. Not just because I want to get the food in the mail and be lazy. It's actually kind of nice to just get a bunch of recipes that you get to just try for really easily. And there's a couple that I've bought all the stuff from the store now and made myself. So I kind of like it more for the adventure into different types of things without having to go and like buy everything specific for that. Because what if you don't like the recipe, but then you bought a whole can of a spice that now you don't have a use for? It's nice that they give you exactly what you need. And if you do like it, well, then maybe it's worth purchasing all that. It's just at 100% price, HelloFresh is not worth it. It is too expensive. Their first couple weeks, actually, it's not bad. It was on your birthday. Oh, no, I've gotten probably about 40 emails since I stopped HelloFresh that all have the exact same thing. Save $165 over a year. But the first box is that half off. It's always half off the first box, 30% off the second box, then like 20, 20, 10, 10, 5. They just spread it out.
I'd hold them to it. I'd be like,
yeah, 50% off's a good deal. Then it's worth it.
So you promise me I'll save this much money over a year, huh? It's like, yes, that's our guarantee. Well, good, because I've been eating nothing but ramen and peanut butter for the last year. It cost me a whole $50 for an entire year's worth of groceries.
Yeah, but I like having like some nice food for that.
Ramen is nice food. They got shrimp flavored, man. That's fancy. I brought this up before for anybody that's new to this. I had ordered
a week for them, from them the 1 week. And then I ordered a second week, and by the time that came up there, I got the box and it was not my box. They have their normal shipping label, and then they have a scanning label they put on the side, and that's the label that they use to determine where the boxes go. So the address showed somebody completely different from me in the same kind of area, but it wasn't me. But the label on the side was my correct order. So somebody just mixed up the stickers, and they just didn't even look at the printed label. And it was more expensive stuff. A dessert item, a couple premium items. It was actually really good stuff. And when I contacted HelloFresh, they said, happy birthday. And it wasn't my birthday, but it's just like, congratulations, just keep the box because we can't take back food items from you. Yeah. Your box is still coming. My box never came. So that was the only box I got. And so they said, well, we'll reimburse your account. So they added a credit. The problem is credits only apply to non-discounted boxes. I had a deal through my work that I was discounted for a year. 8%, so it wasn't that much, and so I was only planning to go a couple weeks and cancel, which means that they were just going to take the money. I still got a box of food, but it wasn't what I ordered, so I had to call and complain, and then they were like, okay, yeah, we see your situation, we'll just give you your money back. So I basically got my first week 50% off, my second week completely free, then the third week I think it was 20% off, and then I canceled before I got the fourth week.
Sounds like a hassle.
It was kind of a hassle, but the fact that I basically got an entire week's of food for free.
No, it's not.
And it was steak and shrimp. I mean, like, it wasn't cheap stuff. This was like sirloin steak and some fancy chicken. I know Warhorse was there for one of them. They're pretty good.
No, it's not a hassle. Going to a grocery store, picking up a brick of hell of a good cheese, taking that home, and then just eating that brick of cheese. It's pretty easy. And you get to be full.
You haven't done that in years.
You don't let me. Well, I kind of do it in the sense that I buy the big packs of like string cheese, and then I'll just eat like 4 of them when you're not looking. It's good. I like cheese.
I mean, I get you like cheese, but
yeah, cheese. I mean, ugh.
I like cheese, but I like cheese with things. I could not just eat a brick of cheese.
You've never like just eaten like cubes of cheese?
No, I don't. I don't.
It's like the perfect food.
I would like get pretzel crackers, and I would put like smoked Swiss. Smoked Swiss is if you get not the cheap one because that just tastes like burnt Swiss cheese, but if you get like a nice smoked Swiss, it tastes like meat. It's so good. And I would take a very thin slice of that because it was a very rich flavor. It was from a cheese factory. And that would be my thing. It was so good. Well, thank you, Nightly, for a gift sub.
No, he's gonna
to SR Dragon. Well, thank you very much, Nightly.
That Sonic Curry's approaching its year anniversary.
Yeah, we need to do that. Well, that thing could probably survive a nuclear apocalypse.
It better, because you still got to eat it.
We haven't eaten it yet because now
it's for you. I bought it for your birthday.
No, now we have an actual like the kitchen with how open it is.
Oh, that was the problem.
No, before it'd be difficult to do multiple people. Now, actually, it probably worked really well. But we're kind of.
Oh, what? That's why you can't eat the curry.
I went to joke cough and then I had No, but I want to do something with that, but I want to wait. Plus, I don't really have good ways to record our audio. I still have to get a second lav.
We could just bring it downstairs right now and you could eat it.
Well, there you go. There as well. Thank you very much, Nightly, for a second.
Go upstairs, put it in the microwave, bring it to you, and then throw it at you.
A slice of a block of mild cheddar. Yeah, I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's it's not something I could do.
You know, something my grandmother would actually appreciate as a food story she always used to tell me. And she told it to me again and again and again. Would you like to hear the food story?
I don't know.
She finds it rather humorous, so I'm going to get the quick version, which is essentially my grandfather, when they were very young, she was baking cinnamon rolls, and he was throwing a big old fit about how she's burnt the cinnamon rolls and blah blah blah, and he got upset with her, and he's like, I'm gonna go take a bath. So he goes into the bath, and he's like in the tub taking a bath, and she pulls cinnamon rolls out, she decorates them, puts icing on them, and says that they're fine, and then she walks into the bathroom with them and dumps them in the tub with my grandfather. She was so pissed at him for getting pissed about the cinnamon rolls. She loved to tell me that story over and over again. She's that old person who will tell you the same story thinking you're hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, my father does that all the time. And it's like, you've been my father for 37 years. You haven't... I've heard the stories, because I've known you for longer than you knew yourself before I was born.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, we've heard this story. But it's always a new story.
Yes.
But I always think that's... I think the true test of whether or not you love somebody is how annoyed you get when you hear the same story over and over again that they've told, because eventually you're always going to hear the same story.
Yeah. And I love my grandmother. So she tells that story. I listen. But in all fairness, if she hadn't told it to me many, many, many times, I probably wouldn't remember it now. So repetition has its rewards in some sense, because like that was her story to tell me. And when she's gone, which
You're gonna die soon.
Yeah, like she gives that one to me all the time. Like she's pushing 90, she's old. And
well, that's 90 years young.
90 years young. My grandfather, he's still alive too, and he's like 95, so
maybe they're competing to see who goes first.
I'm fairly convinced as soon as one of them goes, the other one's going to follow shortly behind.
That's not uncommon.
Yeah.
That's what's surprising is my grandpa died in 1990, and I think she died in like 2018 or something. She went like 28 more years.
Yeah.
She died at 100 and something, 101. And she lived on her own for a lot of that because she was just a farmer's wife.
The older you get, oldness is one of the leading causes of death. Like, it's true.
You know, the leading cause of death is death.
Sir Edward, when you come, if you ever come here for food,
for the people,
it's gravy bathtub time for you.
The longer you wait, the more likely you might get food poisoning, though chances are probably high to begin with. Actually, Nightly, you need to visit up here sometime. Seems like everybody that I know has come up here at some point to visit.
Except
you need to get a Nightly up here.
Well, you're all moved into your new place now, aren't you?
Yeah, he did it. He moved just before us.
Yeah.
I'm sure I told my wife the same stories multiple times before, and we've been together 5 years. Well, when you're with somebody, usually when you go out with somebody, then like a group, you're always going to hear the same stories at least, because that person might be telling it new to somebody else, and that's where it's about not being annoyed, because it's always hard when you're always having to hear the same conversations over and over again, even if you're not the one being told the story.
I mean, if you don't care, it's whatever.
Michael, I'm sorry for saying I never eat anything you cook ever. Please don't dump gravy in the bathtub.
It's great.
I mean, well, how else do you take a bath?
Yeah.
The older you get, the greater the chances of dying. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Unless you're immortal. Which Michael isn't.
Oh. Got excited there for a second.
Get up here, you nerd. Sometime. We need to get... Actually, you know what? You need to come visit third week of January.
Dying is just Mother Nature. Dying of old age is just Mother Nature going like, okay, that's long enough. Get out. It's like, but I'm not done. It's like, yes, you are. Get out.
No, I'm saying you should come up the third week of January, because that, to me, is on average the coldest day.
Wait, why would you do that to somebody? Nobody should ever come up here in the winter. It is awful. I did it and left with pneumonia.
Well, that was because you were stupid.
But that's not gonna change. That's a constant. Winter is a seasonal issue.
The stupidity always is there.
Yes.
No, it's usually the end of January is when we'll have like our 10 to 12 days of nonstop below zero. It'll never get above zero.
Minnesota snow.
I used to live in PA, so I'm used to snow. No, I'm not talking about snow. January, we don't get snow. January is too cold for snow. Snow is usually like when you're 10 or above. We're talking like negative 10.
If you're lucky.
We had literally 10 days in a row the one year where it got below zero, and it never got above zero, day or night, for 10 days.
When I came here to visit and got pneumonia, it was negative 40.
Wind chill is not the same.
It wasn't wind chill.
No, it wasn't that cold.
It was...
No, it wasn't negative 40.
That year got down to negative 40, and I was there visiting when it happened.
No. I can't remember the last time we had negative 40. We have, but no.
It was close to it.
At negative 40, we would not be going out at all. 40 is too dangerous.
Yeah.
Negative 10 would be preferred not to, but
it was cold.
no, but he was the one that it was around 10.
I thought it was cold at 10.
No, it was around 10.
I'm gonna have to look this up now.
No, I remember because we were laughing because you were complaining about how cold it was, and we're like,
cold.
It's not even that cold.
How is negative 10 not cold?
No, you were around 10, not negative 10.
I got frostbite one year.
So, okay, Michael makes it sound bad, but he got pneumonia because we said, Michael, do not breathe through your mouth. And so he, well outside, just takes the biggest gulp of air he can through his lungs, goes, and then immediately starts dying because when you take in a bunch of really cold air direct to your lungs like that, it creates ice crystals, and you are going to start coughing. And then he got pneumonia, which, stupidity does that. So, and then he got frostbite because he was driving in his car. He would not warm it up prior, which is a requirement when the super cold times to let your car warm up a little bit. No. And he wouldn't wear gloves in his car.
Well, my heat wasn't working right.
Yeah, and he wouldn't wear gloves, though. So he had bare skin exposed far from his body on holding a cold surface in a non-warmed up car for 20 minutes.
It was cold.
So it wasn't the weather that was causing the problems. It was him literally not listening when we told him what to do. And then he would complain that things went wrong.
You don't feel like pain when you're that numb.
You know what really helps get rid of the pain? Just death.
Yeah.
Just die.
That would help.
Done. No more pain.
Be nice.
Negative anything is too cold. Yeah, no, I agree. It's negative 20 Celsius. I think that'd be dead. I can't remember. That'd probably be way
negative
too cold.
20 Celsius. That's not that cold.
I'm pretty sure it's probably negative 20 or negative 30 here.
Maybe.
Because 20 degrees itself is room temperature.
It's I'm curious what's negative 20 Celsius. Negative 20 C. Well, that's X. C. Negative 4.
Yeah, so it's still really cold.
It's still cold. That's not death.
When you're not from a place where you... Well, no, everybody has an idea of what they think of as cold, what they think of as hot. I thought that Minnesota has hot and humid summers. Then I went to Houston in August. And I dealt with actual hot and humid, and now I don't see that anymore because my baseline has changed. Where in Minnesota, we have our baseline, and so when we go other places... The winters, well, unless you go to the certain coast areas where it's really wet, that can actually be kind of rough. But it's just a different. Everybody has their own baseline. So what they say is they're super cold, like what they baseline for cold is going to be to them the bad cold. So I think it evened out at negative 40. Yeah, the most we've ever gotten really down to is negative. We've gotten down to negative 40, and we'll have wind chills down to negative 60. But then they send out big warnings, and they say, don't go outside. Keep your heat on non-stop so you don't have bursting pipes. They put out the warnings. It's not about we get cold, don't have to worry about it. No, we know it's trouble.
See, January 2019, it got down to... Wait.
That's 37 degrees.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong day.
You're looking at the positives.
Yes, I am.
It says, look how cold it got. 50 degrees.
I'm looking at temperatures.
Look at the right temperatures.
I don't remember what day I came. I have to look that up.
Well, for one, you were looking in 2021.
No, I'm looking in 2019.
Then look, what was the coldest temperature in 2019?
In Minnesota.
Not in Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Because it's going to give you International Falls. Which is almost always the coldest place in America.
Well, Minnesota gets these crazy jet stream things that just F it up.
Yeah. Coldest place in Minnesota and coldest place where you are in Minnesota is so drastically different.
Negative 28.
Yeah, and that was probably for a day or so.
On January 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, which is not a surprise, but it's only going to be for a day or so. It's never going to stay that cold for very long.
Coldest ever, I think they said in the Twin Cities, was -32.
Yeah, and you said it was -40.
I think it was -40 somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, International Falls.
Probably International Falls.
Yeah, International Falls, like, here, hold on.
I see horse.
Temper.
Dear God, sure. Kill with fire seems to pop into my mind. No, pony.
Okay.
Oh, that's the current temperatures.
So their average temperature in November is 32.
Mm-hmm.
All months. So their average in January is 13.
-5 is the average low. What's the coldest? How cold did it get in 2019 at International Falls?
Coldest temperature.
Oh, that's Alaska. Idaho got super cold apparently. International Falls got to -40.
Yeah, they got to -40, but is it behind the camera? No, it's not. Which was so serious about his status as one of the coldest places in the country. It's just is actually taking another town to court over the title. That's really funny. Some of these I can see because the Alaska, that's a different thing. Alaska's a different thing. In Idaho, that's mountains. Mountains are also going to be a different thing. Problem is, International Falls isn't a mountain, and it isn't Alaska. It is just in the middle of a continent. It's just freaking cold. Canada probably has other places across the border that could get colder, but yeah, there's Canada. So, but it's because when you look at North America, International Falls lands right about here, I think. And if you look at the continent, there is no large body, like the lakes don't really count. There's no really large bodies for anywhere around this. It's one of the farthest inland points you can get. So Minnesota just gets cold because we don't have water to balance our temperatures. We don't, and all our elevation is flat. It's rough.
It's cold.
You get cold. Minnesota in the north is always colder than the south. Well, yeah. No, fronts can make that different. It can be warmer up north, but on average, it's never going to be warmer up north. We also can't use phones in school, like during the class. Like, dude, and one more phone for you. I don't know what that's about. I know cold. I've been in -40, and yet the coldest I've been stuck in is a fog in Central Cal. Yes, Kitty. Negative. I would rather deal with a dry -30 than like a wet 0. Because wet cold will go through all your clothing, go right to your skin. Where a dry cold, as long as you keep your skin covered in some way, you're fine. It's going to eventually eat through your clothing, but you usually have a lot more time. Wet, a wind comes through, gone like that. You're cold. It's rough. Because if you walked out naked in a -40, it would be worse. But usually you're going to have layers on, and just dry cold can't get through layers that fast. So it's mainly just keep your face covered, keep your head covered, keep your hands covered, and you're fine.
Apparently don't sit in a cold car and like negative.
That's where you don't, just because you're inside a car, it doesn't mean it's warmer. So it's about just keep your skin covered, especially when it's super dry like that, just because you're going to get your skin cracking really bad. Every morning, I'll always shower, and then I'll put lotion all over my face and on my hands and stuff, because otherwise your skin's going to crack, and then it's just going to be rough. Getting some
worst part is when your lips start
lip balm. Yeah, lip balm too. I keep some Bertles, whatever, beeswax.
My lips just bleed, and then they heal.
But I just put some wax in your, like some lip balm.
Why? It heals pretty quick.
Oh, I'd rather not have to be cut on my mouth. That's rough. Oh, her tail's kind of going goofy. Why is it like twitching?
The entire reason I got a remote starter.
So it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Like with where we are now, if I'm going to be parking in a garage, I don't care about a remote starter. If I'm going to be parking at an apartment to where it's a long distance to get to my car, a remote start's a really good idea. When I used to live in an apartment, I was second floor, so starting my car meant going downstairs, all the way out the door, all the way through the parking lot to the car, starting it, and then either sitting in the cold car or walking back inside, which I often did. And when it gets super, super cold, you would sometimes have to go out there in the evening before going to bed to run it. Otherwise, it wouldn't start in the morning, even though it only been like 12 hours since you ran it. So it just depends. It's on the situation. I think you're parking outside and it's a little bit of a walk to the car, a remote start is useful. But I don't care personally about having the car be warm for me to sit in. I don't care about that type of heat. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be putting too much stress on the engine to make it so that I'm going to have to deal with a car stalling because the oil was too thin or too thick or something like that. It's usually, if you have a very old car, you want to run it for like 10 minutes. That was the old adage. Most new cars, you run it for just a couple minutes and you're fine. It's usually just 1 or 2 minutes at the minimum. Anything less than that, you're basically pushing peanut butter through your system and you're going to cause some damage to your car, especially if you start pushing it hard, because then it's going to try to push that peanut butter faster.
I was reading that the wind chills to get down to -50 in the Twin Cities.
Wind chill's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know, but that's still cold.
Yeah, but wind chill is just about how cold it is when you're in the wind.
That's when I came to visit.
I know, but you're looking at that to say that that's the low number.
Oh, we went out into the wind.
But that's why you keep your skin covered. And you know what you didn't do?
I breathed deeply into the wind.
And that is probably not the time that you were even here.
I was here in January.
In January. You're saying January 30th. That's the very last day of January.
31st, yeah.
Yeah, the very end of January. What days in January were you here?
I don't remember.
Well, then stop making up that it was during the worst time.
It was in that month.
It was not that bad.
Cold.
I remember it being 10.
It was cold.
Because it was snowing.
Was it?
Yes. Usually in those type of temperatures, it does not snow. It will on a super rare occurrence, but the biggest time it snows is around 10 degrees, and it was snowing a lot, which means to me it's around 10. I'm using like scientific facts, and you're just bullshitting.
I am not bullshitting. That's how cold it got.
Michael just wants he's
figure out plane tickets and
Have
stuff.
you ever had that one person where they want to one up the negative things in their life?
I don't want to one up the negative things in my life. It was cold. I was cold.
He wants to make sure that I
got pneumonia.
Because you were stupid.
Yes. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I love the people that are like, oh, that sounds bad. Guess what I did? I want to make sure that you know that the things that have been wrong in your life are nothing, and you mean nothing, because I'm the winner of horrible.
I've seen you. I know your life has gone worse than mine. I can see it in your face.
Michael.
What?
You can see it in my face, but if you just look in a mirror, like, that should just tell you right there, hit by a bus.
Wow. This is, as long as you, your butt. I get, haha. Yeah.
Oh, it's...
You feeling the burn now?
It's, yep, I do. It's right in my butts and boobs.
Butts and boobs gravy train.
Okay, we're already over time. I'm just trying to finish up the last little thing in here. She's kind of a little delayed on this area, so I'm gonna pull that in.
Heat is kind of the same way. Like, it can get super hot, but as long as the humidity's down, it's not so bad.
No, he's talking shit, so I'm talking shit back to him.
Yeah, we hate each other now.
We do have some very extreme temps here. We have extreme colds, but it can get hot here, but compared to other places,
it doesn't get super humid here.
Bad. If the humidity we'll get humid, but I wouldn't consider it to be like
it's not
bad
regular
humidity. It's uncomfortable humidity, it's not bad humidity.
It did get
and we will get hot, but to us, hot is anything above like 85 or 90.
Yeah.
Where we have some coworkers that are down in Arizona, and they'll talk about how it's like 110 during the day, not a cloud in the sky, and they can't go outside because it is too hot. It's like I'm okay with, you know, I think what we just recently had where it was a heat wave and it was high 80s, low 90s.
Yeah, I will say though, there was one day this year that got to like 70% humidity. And that was pretty high for Minnesota. Like, it's not the highest I've experienced by far, but for Minnesota, it was pretty high.
But humidity is a bad representation because 70% humidity at 65 degrees is wet but not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Where it's 70% when it's 95 is very uncomfortable.
It was in
so
the
it just
80s
depends. That's where dew point is the better representation. But
well, around here, if it gets that high, you start getting pop-up showers that take care of it.
We rarely got in the 90s for consecutive days in New York. Yeah, well, even here, we won't get into the 90s for much for consecutive days. We'll get for some, but we're in the Midwest, so the temperatures will always climb up, and then a big storm will come through because it'll be like a high pressure system. Then a low pressure system will come in, wham into it, and cause big thunderstorms, and then the temperature will drop drastically for like 4 or 5 days, and it'll slowly start creeping up again. That's just how it always works. Gets hot, big storm, cools down, and just goes like this. It's
fun wave time.
We don't get much for drizzle rain. We get explosive rain. The longer and hotter it is, the bigger and explosive the thunderstorms are usually when they move through.
I think I'm going to skip winter this year.
That's pretty cool.
I don't want to do it.
Let's see if there's anything. When it gets to negative 20 and colder, it's necessary to keep the engine warm in a vehicle, or you can forget about ever starting it. Yeah, that's why normally if it gets down to anything below 0, my usual rule when it was outside was I get home from work, I leave my car, and then like at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night when I'm getting ready for bed, I'll go out again, run it for like 10 minutes to like till it smooths out, then go to bed again, and then in the morning when it'd be 7, 8 in the morning, I would go out to leave. I've had days, especially if you have an older battery, where I get home at like 6 p.m. and the next morning I get up at 8 and it wouldn't start because it was too cold. So yeah, but that's only for like 2 to 3 weeks that it's really a problem here. Other than that, once it's above 0, yeah.
I have a similar plan where I do this, and then I go out in the morning,
remember
when my car.
It was a cold week, and you had the entire week off of work, and I told you.
Yes, but it wasn't the battery got drained. I figured out what it was. One of the connectors on the battery was loose. That's all it was.
But you didn't follow my advice anyway.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have mattered.
But why is it after you jumped it worked fine?
Because the alternator?
I feel like he's just making stuff up. So the version of the story that's true is that I told him to start his car every couple days, and he didn't. He let it sit for like 9 days during the holiday, and then didn't start it. And then the first morning that after everything, I have to go down and help him start his car.
But it wasn't
after I had told him everything, then I had to be the one to help.
It wasn't even that. Is what I'm getting.
I substitute your reality with my own.
I want to watch Electricity more smooth.
No, she's dead.
No.
From 80 to 30 to rainy to snow and back to 70 and sunny. Yeah, that's fun. You had lake effect in New York,
I have
too.
run through the snow before without shoes.
Anyway, we're done.
Yeah.
Well, shut up. Okay, who could we? Ooh, is Flitter not ending? Because she rated me recently. What is it doing? Okay, yeah, they're still playing something.
Pony and Robo.
They're doing something. So we'll play in Dincom. Okay, yeah, we'll head over to Flitter. So Flitter's a lot of fun. Got to meet her at a recent convention. So we'll do a raid to them. I hope everybody has some fun. We are going to be doing Jackbox tomorrow. Normal stream time, probably 6 o'clock. Probably run. Or is it 7 o'clock? I can't remember. What did we put for our time?
Mm-hmm. I just live here.
6 o'clock. So we'll probably run 6 to 10. I'm not running later than that because just thinking about coughing makes me want to cough. So, So yeah, we'll whatever flitter. I hope you guys have some fun. We're doing Jackbox tomorrow, and then we're going to be probably doing some more Monster Hunter stories on Sunday, and then we'll go from there. So
I'm going to go
yeah. So have a good one, everybody. Bye bye. Let me switch to Kitty.
You better switch to Kitty.
Hopefully it actually works. Sky no.
I'm Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, the cards actually work this time. Yeah. All right, so yeah, bye-bye, Blur. Bye-bye, Sir Edward. Warhorse. So thank you for the cheers to Soul Kitty, Nullin, Avoid, Jurassic, and Sir Edward. Thank you very much. Thank you, Warhorse, for showing up. And thank you for the new followers to the Airhead Windy Pwn. Oh, yeah, and there were subs too. So thank you for the gift subs that Nightly gave for SR Dragon 24 and Amando Somners. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye. Gravy train. I want to see it.